welcome to Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita, Kansas, where tonight KQAM, the Big Talker, brings you more action from the 84th NBC World Series. Tonight from Lawrence Dumont, we've got the Seattle Studs taking on the Wellington Heat. Steve Strain and Scott Stiles with you on a gorgeous Thursday night for baseball as we have reached now the final 8 of this tournament in a single elimination format. So no more pool play. The stakes get higher now as we've got actually technically 6 teams left because there have already been 2 games today as the San Antonio Angels win again, 8-4 over the San Diego Waves. So San Antonio's Angels, who played here all of last week to qualify, are in tomorrow's semifinals of this tournament. And so are the Santa Barbara Foresters in a thriller 7-6, a walk-off win for the Foresters as they knock off the San Diego Stars. So Santa Barbara and San Antonio's Angels are in the semis tomorrow, and either Wellington or the Seattle Studs will be too. Scott Stiles, welcome in. Another great night for baseball, and it's do or die time now. You can tell just from watching the earlier games, the intensity steps up now that we've reached this point in the tournament.
We just saw it from the last game. Down 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth. They rallied for the win. It's great baseball. Here we're seeing the final 8. You lose, you go home, you win, you get to play on tomorrow's semifinals, and then you're into the finals. And after the finals, we say adieu to the 84th Annual NBC World Series and also Lawrence Dumont Stadium with a fireworks show and a live concert on the turf. So we're going to go to break right now, I believe, Stevie, or what you want to do?
Yeah, we'll take a timeout, come back with the starting lineups. Wellington and Seattle for the 84th NBC in the quarterfinals of the tournament. Back in a moment. Are you kidding? Baker Mayfield touchdown.
Shire Signs, Wichita's Ford graphics specialist, is also the first thing you need to know for race graphics. When you look at the cost of paint compared to wrapping your car for race day, Shire Signs puts you way ahead of the game. Unique designs have colors to really make it easier to keep your car as much as independent. Sprint, modifieds, no matter what you race, Shire Signs has you covered. Shire Signs, Wichita's paint and race graphics specialist. Online at shire-signs.com.
And the whole of the fans, would you please remain standing as the colors exit the field?
Team Electric Supply would like to encourage you to support the Kansas Cannons and come out to Lawrence Dumont Stadium to catch a game during the tournament. Good luck, Kansas Cannons, from the team at Team Electric Supply. A DUI can literally stop a person and their vehicle in its surprise.
Hey guys, welcome to the 84th Annual NBC World Series. We're really excited to partner with the NBC again this year, but the only thing that hits a better home run out of the park than this tournament is our app, Lawn Buddy. It's virtually the easiest way to mow your lawn. We're in 46 states, so download the app today so we can mow your lawn tomorrow.
Henry Cheney bats sixth. He's in right field. Batting seventh, Tanner Arrington. Arrington at first base. Garrett Breda bats eighth. He's behind the plate. And batting ninth, Cody Banks. Banks at second base. Again, the lineup for Seattle: Savage, Wolf, Bowe, Riker, Hancock, Cheney, Arrington, Breda, and Banks, with Alex Spaulding pitching for the Seattle Studs. For Wellington, David Birch leads off. He'll be at second base and followed by shortstop Alex Lyon. Luis Amaro bats third. He's at first base. Joe Rankin hits cleanup, and Rankin is behind the plate. Batting fifth, Kevin Conley. Conley in left field. Alex Koch bats sixth, and he is in center field. Caleb Doubler bats seventh. Doubler in right field. Noataka Fujita is the designated hitter, and he bats eighth. And Cody Robinson bats ninth, and Robinson in at third base. So again, the lineup for the Heat: Birch, Lyon, Amaro, Rankin, Conley, Koch, Doubler, Fujita, and Robinson, with Sam Curtis, the right-handed pitcher, going through some warm-up tosses now for the Wellington Heat. As Curtis is out there, the Heat have taken the field, and we're about ready to go, Scott Stiles, and a nice night again for baseball.
Yeah, probably the hottest night we've had here in a while. 93 degrees right now, about almost 100 on the turf. Not hardly a breeze blowing. Probably one of the more humid nights we have. We have little pop-up storms around the area, but so far, blue sky over the top of Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Wellington, the last team in this tournament from the state of Kansas, and they are posting a 3-0 record. The Seattle Studs are coming in at 2-1 in bracket play. The winner moves on to the semifinals tomorrow night.
Garrett Breda, the catcher, out on the mound, talking to his starting pitcher for Wellington, and Joe Rankin is, and that's Sam Curtis, as those two get ready to go. Curtis now a little hug from his shortstop, Alex Lyon.
Sam Curtis in the warm-up, Steve, was anywhere from 84 to 86 mile an hour with that fastball, and looked like his cutter was pretty good as well. But we'll see if he starts off with a fastball to get ahead to start this quarterfinal game.
So Curtis takes a big stretch as he toes the rubber, and at 7:07, first pitch is in. A fastball at 89 miles an hour. A strike, 0-1. Game time temperature 93 degrees with virtually zero wind at all here in Wichita tonight. No balls and a strike to Connor Savage, and the next pitch from Curtis lined into left field, a base hit. So Connor Savage, 2 pitches into the game, on at first base with a leadoff single.
Connor Savage coming in the game hitting .286 in this tournament. Goes 1 for 1 right away. That'll bump it up. Now let's see early on if they put any plays on whatsoever, try to get something in scoring position to put the Heat on Wellington.
No pun intended, right?
No pun intended at all.
Wellington in gold jerseys and gray pants with maroon trim on the gold jersey. It says Wellington in maroon cursive letters. Maroon caps as well. Throw over to first. Back standing up is Connor Savage. If you're familiar with the color scheme of Arizona State, it's very, very similar to that. While Seattle's got the same cream-colored uniforms they wore the other night when we had them, a very old-school look, as Colin Wolf, a good bunt up the first base side. Curtis picks it up with his left glove hand, and with that hand, scoops it to first for a 1-3 sacrifice, but it does the job. Connor Savage down to second base.
I like it. I like it early. Now you have an opportunity with one little base hit here to get a run, to get up in this game early and get momentum, and that just gets your defense even more confidence when you go out there and play. Plus your pitcher goes out there with a lead.
Seattle's uniforms, cream-colored jerseys and pants. Most of them also wear the pants only knee-high, and then dark blue socks, dark blue matted batting helmets, and a dark blue number on the back of the cream-colored jersey as well. There's a very, very light logo on the left chest. And on their caps, there's a capital C for the Seattle Studs. Why? Because they used to be called the Cheney Studs. Cheney is a suburb of Seattle. Here's the pitch to Kyle Bowe outside, a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. So gold jerseys and gray pants for Wellington, white with blue trim or cream with blue trim for Seattle. 1 ball, no strikes to Kyle Bowe. Curtis delivers that one in there at 77, a slider, a strike, 1-1. Sam Curtis pitched collegiately at William Jessup College. He pitched there for 2 seasons, 2017 and 2018. Appeared in 10 games total and had a record of 2-1. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Changeup at 72, close, but no cigar, 2-1.
That was almost caught the inside corner. Must have been across a little high. So far, the strike zone very small behind the plate.
Connor Savage getting his lead out at second base. Pretty good-sized lead, too. Neither of the middle infielders even cheating toward the bag right now. 1 out, runner at second, top of the first, scoreless. And the pitch, a fastball, and that one was close again. But Tim Cordell very tight with the strike zone early on. A ball, it's 3-1.
Wow, I'm telling you. Last night they were getting that call. Tonight, so far, they're not. As long as they're consistent, you can't really complain as long as it goes both ways.
Kyle Bowe, right-handed hitting third baseman for the Seattle Studs. The 3-1. He takes, it's a strike, a breaking ball at 79, and the count's now full at 3-2.
You know, you don't see that very often. Usually 3-1, you come with a fastball. He came with the cutter there to make it a full count. Sam Curtis, you can tell he's pitched for a while. He looks like a pitcher out there on the mound.
He's out of Lincoln, California before heading on to William Jessup. Pitched in 18 1/3 innings is all in 2 combined seasons. Fastball outside at 92. He is bringing some heat, but a walk there, and now first and second with 1 away.
You know, realistically, if you're going to walk a guy, that's not a bad deal. You got a base open right now. Now you're back in double play situation here.
So Landon Riker, the left fielder, is in. First and second, as Scott said, 1 away. So the infield will play at normal depth. Nobody, even at first base, Luis Amara, will not hold a runner on. They'll look for the ground ball to the infield. First pitch now to Riker. And there is strike. It's 0-1 at 91 miles an hour. So Sam Curtis early is hitting 90+, but runners at first and second, 1 away, top of the first inning.
We talked about the heat and stuff, plus the number of pitches. We'll see how long he can last throwing that with that velocity.
Here's the 0-1.
Got it.
And that one, a breaking ball. They will appeal and a strike, as they'll say Riker went around. That's Mark Hutchinson, the first base umpire. Ben Harlow is at second. Josh Shepis is at third. We do have a 4-umpire crew now that we've reached the quarterfinals. It'll be that way the rest of the way through Saturday's championship game. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Curtis as he stretches and delivers. Close, but not quite. Joe Rankin frames it. A ball, 1-2.
Yeah, that was a little bit outside, but the catcher did a great job of, like you just said, Stevie, framing the pitch, and it makes the crowd reaction a little louder than it needs to be. That was definitely outside.
Still a fairly light-sized crowd, particularly on the Seattle side, where they have the third base dugout. Wellington, a few more fans over behind the first base side. The 1-2, that one definitely low and away, and the count's now even at 2-2.
He's gone deep in the counts with every hitter he's faced so hard, which means your pitch count's going to be up.
Sam Curtis in 18 1/3 innings. That's in 2 seasons at William Jessup. 18 1/3 innings, just 4 earned runs. Opponents hit 250 against him. There go the runners, a hit and run. This one is lifted to center field, though. They'll have to retreat. Drifting to his right is Alex Koch. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning, and a big one for Wellington.
Well, if he had to swing, it was 2-2, and it was a hit and run on. But, man, like you said earlier, there is nobody holding the runners on at second base right now. I mean, he almost gets a running start. Would have had third base stolen easily.
Wellington doing that, looking for the double play, but that's the risk, is you can allow a runner to get an awfully big lead when you do so. But we'll see what Brennan Hancock can do now for Seattle. First and second, 2 outs in a scoreless game, top of the first. Hancock, big, designated hitter from the left side of the plate, takes the first pitch at 90 right down Main Street. A strike, 0-1. Hancock only .222 in the World Series, 2 for 9 in 3 games. Wide open stance with his back left foot along the back line of the batter's box. The 0-1 swung on and missed at 81 as Curtis took something off there.
Yeah, that might have been the changeup right there. That was a pretty good pitch. It dropped right at the plate, and he swung right over the top of it for an 0-2 count. Now, see if he pins the outside here, see if he gets him reaching here as a left-hander or comes into that backdoor breaking pitch.
Curtis stretches, gets the sign he wants. Well, doesn't even look at the runners. And a check swing, excuse me, didn't mean to do it. Fouled out of play, left side. And it's 0-2.
Service Center for all your vehicle service needs, located at 4411 West Central. Home of the $24 oil change.
Runners get their leads. Savage at second, Bowe at first. Brennan Hancock at the plate, down on the count, 0-2 in a scoreless game. Sends one on the ground to second. A slow roller, David Burtz will fire to first in time.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
Who did that?
Visiting team on the scoreboard tonight from Seattle, Washington, the Seattle Studs. Starting pitcher tonight for the Seattle Studs, number 33, Alex Bauman.
The video. You can get $50 off any electrical or plumbing service call at Faunastock. Call 943-HEAT, 943-HEAT. Do that for an electrical or plumbing service call, and the fine folks at Faunastock will take $50 off that call. 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. The Seattle Studs had a leadoff single and a one-out walk, but back-to-back outs after that recorded by Sam Curtis, and Curtis in the Heat got out of the inning. Now it'll be up to the Heat against Alex Bauman if they are to take the lead in the first inning.
Alex Bauman looks like I don't know what his size is, but he's got to be every bit of 6'4", 6'5" out there, Steve.
6'4", 230 out of Monroe, Washington.
Good-sized young man. Righty, watching him warm up, been pretty consistent over there. Has a pretty good fastball, about 90 mile an hour. So they're bringing their best from here on out, Steve, on the mound.
Bauman is out of Everett Community College, where he will be a sophomore, and this past season he appeared in 6 games, 5 of them as starts. First batter he'll face is David Burtz. And we're ready to go in the bottom of the first inning. A scoreless game. One more game tonight. The National Junior College national team will take on the Colorado Cyclones, who were 7-0 in this tournament. First pitch to David Burtz outside for a ball, 1-0. If you missed it earlier, the San Antonio Angels are now 8-0 in the tournament. They are in tomorrow's semifinals. What
incredible
a
run for them.
And Colorado as well. The 1-0 to Burtz. Fastball chopped foul at the plate.
You think about that. If they win out, they'll be 10-0 in 2 weeks. Pretty remarkable run by them.
And if the Colorado Cyclones can stay alive, wouldn't it be something if those two would meet up tomorrow or Sunday, or Saturday, I should say, in the finals? Here's the 1-1 to Burtz. Swung on the ground through the middle. Diving stop by Colin Wolf. He'll throw to first late, but Wolf, a great job just to get to that baseball, but it's an infield hit.
Well, I'll tell you what, you cannot take away the effort from the shortstop. He did a great job of making that play. Colin Wolf knocking it down and almost made the play, but now Wellington has their first base runner on, just like Seattle. Will there be a play on here? Looked like that David Burtz got down the line pretty good. Looks like he has some decent speed. We'll see if they can get a steal going here.
Inching away from the bag ever so slowly. He's being held on. Showing bunt is Lyon, and he bunts it foul behind the plate. 0-1.
Both teams are trying to get runs early in this contest to put some pressure on the other team and the pitchers. I like that.
Well, you're getting down to that stage where you would think that you should be facing better pitching, and so runs could very well be at a premium, and even small ball bunts in the first inning could make a big difference later on. 0-1, the count to Lyon, who's showing bunt again. This is a better one, straight back to the mound, and Spauman's only play will be to first. So a sacrifice goes 1-3, down to second base goes Burtz.
You tell these experienced teams they're just putting the ball in play. They're not trying to be fancy and put it right down the line, because we know what happens with the crown of this field. Anything down either side, first or third base line, it tends to roll foul. And they're just putting the ball in play, making sure they sacrifice the runner over.
So each team with a leadoff single And each team followed that up with a sacrifice bunt 1-3. So Wellington now with a runner at second, 1 out for first baseman Luis Amaro. And Amaro takes the first pitch for a strike at 84.
Big news today in college football. Bill Snyder signs a 5-year contract extension through 2022. That was a big signing today.
Probably surprising to a lot of folks.
That will help with the recruiting, though, knowing he's going to be there.
Through the stretch goes Spauman, and here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed at 87.
Almost looked like that was a lazy swing because he wasn't expecting that pitch, and he got around way late, but now in the hole, 0-2 with 1 out and a runner on second.
Quite a bit of cloud cover tonight at Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita. You don't see a whole lot of blue skies. Nothing real threatening, but quite a bit of cloud cover. For that reason, not a lot of shadows, at least dark ones, out on the field. The lights are on here at Lawrence Dumont, but again, no wind. Still a comfortable night at 92 and getting cooler every so often. We started a couple degrees warmer. Pitch outside for a ball at 88. It's 1-2.
Boy, the batters are doing a really good job laying off that close stuff, especially with 2 strikes. Very disciplined hitters on both teams.
Alex Spauman, I mentioned this past season, he was at Everett Community College where he appeared in 6 games, 5 of them as a starter. Pitch fouled back out of play, still 1-2. 35 1/3 innings was second most on the Everett Community College team, and he had a 2-3 record with a 5.09 earned run average. He walked 9, Scott, and struck out 31. That's what stands out about his numbers at Everett.
Wow.
1 ball, 2 strikes, runner at second, 1 out, scoreless. Another one foul back and out of play. Turned into a nice at-bat for Amaro.
It has, making the he's battling in there right now, and that's what you like to see out of your 3-hitter. Luis Amaro hitting .273 in this tournament. Has 3 hits, 2 for extra bases, actually, 2 doubles.
And he's also second on the team in the World Series with 4 runs batted in. He steps out momentarily after another foul ball. Now he taps the plate with his bat, and he's back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at second, scoreless, bottom of the first. Through the stretch goes Spauman, looks twice back at second, nothing doing. He'll throw home, and this one is sent to left field. Landon Riker was playing over toward the line. Now he's got to go back into his left and chases down the lazy fly ball. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, both teams have had runners, if you want to call it, in scoring position at second base, unable to get him around. Wellington now with 2 outs still has this opportunity with the 4-hitter coming up at Joe Rankin.
So Rankin steps in with 2 outs and a runner at second, the catcher and cleanup hitter for the Wellington Heat.
Rankin has 2 RBIs in this tournament, 1 double. So he has an opportunity to get his 3rd RBI of the tournament.
Takes a fastball across at the knees, 80 miles an hour, 0-1. Actually, Spauman, looking at 80 miles an hour, may have taken a little bit off of that.
Yeah, because he's been upper 80s with fastball.
Didn't have a lot of movement, so perhaps a change. But not a drastic change from his fastball. Here's the 0-1, and that one again at 80, and again perhaps a change. Misses away, 1-1.
Third baseman playing way back, trying to knock down anything to the outfield to prevent that run from scoring. Playing on Rankin, being a pull hitter. But, man, I'm telling you, with nobody really holding him on second, I would almost take third here with 2 outs.
Spauman stretches, delivers. Little soft floater, shallow right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to send the runner around third, running on contact. He'll score easily. An RBI single for Joe Rankin. Scores David Burtz. It's 1-0 Wellington.
Rankin now 3rd RBI with 2 outs. That's clutch hitting there with 2 outs and being able to get somebody in.
Yeah, just reaching out and poking one the other way, not trying to hit a home run, but put a ball in play, and he did, and drives home a run. So 1-0 Wellington now. Runner at first with 2 outs for Kevin Connolly. Conley an even 300 in the tournament. He's 3 for 10 coming into play. And he takes down low at 80 miles an hour. 1 ball and no strikes to Conley. The red-hot hitter, not just for Wellington, Scott, but in this game, is Cody Robinson, the third baseman. He's hitting 9th in the lineup. But get this, He's 7 for 12 and hitting 9th. This one driven, well struck center field, back into his right. Connor Savage. He'll track it down, though.
Leonard Skinner, last of the street survivors, farewell tour. Saturday, September 29th in Trust Bank Arena. With special guest, the Marshall Tucker Band, Leonard Skinner, on their final tour ever. Tickets are on sale now at selectaseat.com, the venue box office, or charge by phone. Leonard Skinner, playing in Trust Bank Arena one last time.
Stop by Taco Prano, 2 Wichita locations, and ask about their Money Saver combo. Also, don't forget Tuesdays. It's Taco Tuesday, 60-cent tacos all day long at Taco Prano. Taco Prano with 2 Wichita locations, one of our sponsors of the 84th NBC and our coverage on KQAM.
So how was the first pitch from the press box? The first pitch from the press box.
That's right. I got to throw the first pitch from up here, in a booth right next to us anyway. First pitch to Henry Cheney, inside for a ball, 1-0.
I'm just glad you didn't hit the window and knock yourself out.
Well, I had a lot of adrenaline. I think that's why it was a little bit high.
I got you.
Yeah. But it was cool. Fastball, outside edge. It's a strike, 1-1. But, I was in a booth a couple spots down, had a catcher standing over the plate, and I got to toss one to him.
Your dad would have been proud. It's a proud moment for the Strain family.
He's going to see that on Facebook.
Yeah.
1-1 to Cheney, fouled back and out of play. 1-2. Henry Cheney, Tanner Arrington, and Garrett Breda. That's 6, 7, and 8 for Seattle now, trailing the Wellington Heat 1-0, top of the second inning. Sam Curtis in a little bit of hot water in the first inning, but no runs allowed. Back out for inning number 2. And a ground ball diving to his right, Amaro. An underhand toss to Curtis covering the bag. What a play by the first baseman, Amaro. 3-1 on the putout.
Also, Amaro did a great job of really laying out and making sure that ball didn't get in the outfield. But what he did, he's playing far enough back with nobody on, but he got a great jump on the ball. It was a 2-hopper, and he dove to his right, snagged it, and also you got to give credit to Sam Curtis for hustling over there from the pitcher's mound, covering the bag.
So Tanner Arrington steps in now, and he swings and misses at an 80-mile-an-hour changeup, 0-1 to Arrington.
Swung right through that one. Arrington, so far, really no batting average so far. He's had 4 bats with no hits. Oh, hitting.
And that's not what you want to do to somebody who's 0 for 4 in the tournament, give him a free pass. But
no,
Arrington
you do
to
not.
first. It's interesting what Seattle has done at the bottom part of their lineup. They've got Arrington 0 for 4 coming into the game. Then the 8th hitter coming up now, Garrett Breda, is 4 for 9, but then Cody Banks, their 9-hitter, only has 1 at bat in the tournament. He's 0 for 1.
Yeah, tell you what, the catcher's the meat and the sandwich of that, the 0-0-0 batting average. He's hitting 4-44 here. Breda is.
He takes a ball up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Runner at first, 1 out. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Wellington. Short lead over at first for Arrington. The pitch home, and that's a strike, a fastball at 90 on the outside half. 1-1. Curtis stretches again and throws to first, nothing doing.
First throw over the game for either pitcher.
Sam Curtis from Lincoln, California, and attended Rockland High School. Delivers away. Off speed at 72. 2 balls and a strike to Garrett Breda. Breda's from Bothell, Washington, attending, or did at least, Western Oregon. He has graduated from there. 2 balls and a strike to the right-handed hitter. Way up high, ball 3. 3-1. Cody Banks, the aforementioned Cody Banks, who is just 0 for 1 in this tournament, on deck. This is the 4th game for Seattle and for Wellington, but Cody Banks has only played in 1 with 1 at bat, but he's playing second tonight and hitting out of the 9 spot. Pitch swung on and lifted foul straight behind the plate and over the screen. So the count's now full at 3-2. Sam Curtis, just 5'10" and 170, one of the smaller pitchers we've seen, certainly a smaller starting pitcher in this tournament. Very short lead at first again for Arrington. Breaking ball, where was that?
Wow.
And they appeal. I didn't even see a swing. It looked like it could have been a called third strike, but down to first base goes Breda. Wow.
Unless he thought it was a breaking pitch, unless he thought it curved around inside the plate. The catcher did a great job of framing that pitch. Made it look very close.
So to the 7 and 8 hitters in the lineup for Seattle, Sam Curtis has gone hit, batsman, and walk, and now the number 9 hitter, Cody Banks, as the infield for Wellington looks for a double play. Fastball high and away outside, ball 1, and Joe Rankin now calls time. He wants to go talk to his pitcher.
Well, once again, Sam Curtis finds himself in a little bit of a quagmire here with 1 out, just like last inning. Had guys on first and second, back in the same position again. And a good job by the catcher for the Wellington Heat, Joe Rankin, going out there, just calming his pitcher down, and Sam Curtis saying, look, we got great defense behind it. Just throw strikes. Let's get out of this thing. Get a double play ball here.
Seattle had first and second, 1 out in the first inning, and they were unable to score. They've got that same situation again, and we'll see what happens here.
You do not want to walk the 9 hitter. You want to make him put the ball in play, and hopefully you get a ground out.
The 1-0 is
Or
a
a strikeout.
fastball down low at 91, and it's 2-0. And now Sam Curtis starting to fight it a little bit. Double play gets Wellington out of the jam. The infield playing deep, looking for that. And here comes the 2-0. That one down in the turf, ball 3. Nowhere close with the last 2.
Wow, you're going to walk this guy, and you're going to be facing the number leadoff hitter in Connor Savage.
And I say down in the turf because only the pitcher's mound is dirt here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Everything else is artificial surface. 3 balls and no strikes. You would think Banks is taking all the way. He is, and it's ball 4. And Sam Curtis is shaking his head right now. And the coach is out of the dugout for Wellington. He needs to go calm down his pitcher.
He was close in a couple of those pitches and didn't get the call. But you know what? When you throw a lot of balls, those close pitches, you're not going to get those from the umpire.
Yep, they want you to earn those close ones. And now the coach for Wellington's got his left hand on the right hip of Sam Curtis. And this will be a nice long lecture. And we'll see what happens. Cherry Oaks Golf and Cheney, one of our sponsors of the 84th NBC. Thanks to Cherry Oaks Golf Course in Cheney, and also Shire Graphics and Just Right Auto Repair. Some of our great sponsors on KQAM of the 84th NBC World Series. The wind has started to pick up significantly, Scott, and it's out of the north. So the prevailing wind is out of the south, but it's starting to pick up and out of the north. That means it's in from left field.
Yeah, that's we welcome a little bit of a breeze. It was a little steamy, but the temperature's already dropped 3 degrees since the breeze came up.
Yeah. Loaded for Seattle. Top of the order, Connor Savage with 1 away. Seattle trailing 1-0. Savage grounds 1 over toward second. Could be 2. They'll go to second for 1. The throw to first not in time. They get 1 at second, but Seattle scores 1. Arrington from third, and we are tied at 1 apiece.
It wasn't a conventional double play. The second baseman had to go almost to behind the bag to get the ground ball, flick it, and then the shortstop had to tap the bag, spin and turn, and there's just too much time for their good hustle on the left-handed batter as well to beat the throw. 2 away, but the score now is tied 1-1.
So Savage does get the RBI on the fielder's choice. He's at first. Garrett Brett is over at third. 2 outs, runners at the corners for Colin Wolfe, who takes for a strike, 0-1 to Wolfe.
And Connor Savage showed some good wheels down there. Let's see if they try to put a play on here to force a steal down second. If the throw goes through, you got a guy on third that you can send home.
You would think Savage runs with good speed.
Yes.
In fact, there's a throw over there. He's a center fielder, leadoff hitter.
Scooted down that first baseline pretty well.
Sam Curtis keeping his eye on Savage, who steps away from first.
Not a big lead, Steve.
Amaro holding him on. And the pitch
Delay steal.
It is, and there he goes. There'll be no throw. And a stolen base for Savage.
Was baiting him to throw, and the catcher ate it and threw it right back to the pitcher. And Savage walked on into second.
So runners at second and third now for Seattle. They've already scored one here in the top of the second to tie the score at 1 apiece. Sam Curtis back to the windup now with 2 outs. And the pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike at 81 and shaking his head Wolf. We've seen pitches, I think, closer to the edge of the plate that weren't called strikes tonight, but that was.
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes as Curtis gets the sign he likes. Now the 1-2. He reaches out and bounces one to second. On 2 hops, Burtz is there, tosses.
My favorite memory about working in Kansas is the people, the communities in the state of Kansas, and how much pride they take in their communities, and our role in helping them see their vision and then deliver the projects that are going to create that vision. The Wichita office has been open for 20 years. I've been here 18 of those 20 years. I'm really looking forward to the success over the next 20 years and beyond.
It's an all skate. Oh, it's an all skate. Yeah, all skate. All skate. It's an all skate. Yeah, get out there with the old strobe light going, the old ball. That's what when Warren and I played music, we liked in the 70s. It's an all skate. That came out like a bottle rocket. Oh, brother.
Are you kidding me?
Daily.
Don't forget, in the 7th inning, we'll have our Champs Sports Bar and Grill giveaway. A free hamburger, french fries, and a non-alcoholic beverage will be awarded to one lucky listener. We'll do that in the 7th inning. Stay tuned for that. Champs Sports Bar and Grill sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC. Here's Alex Cook now, the center fielder, taking the first pitch for a strike from Alex Spachman. No balls and a strike to Cook. Cook, Caleb Doubler, and Noataka Fujeda, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Wellington. At the bottom of the first of a 1-1 tie. Pitch just misses outside, 1-1. Alex Cook, 4 for 11 in the tournament. That's 364. He's got 2 triples, Scott. 2 triples outside for ball. So keep an eye out on him if he sends one to the gap or down in the corners.
That tells you also he's got good wheels. Steve can run the bases well to make it over there to third base on a triple.
He is the center fielder, so you'd think he can cover a lot of ground in a hurry. Swung on and missed. That's a strike. The count's even 2-2. The winner moves on to tomorrow's semifinals. The loser goes home as the pitch to Cook swung on and fouled below us off the netting, and the count's still 2-2.
Now, got to protect now.
Alex Cook from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and he attended Oshkosh, Wisconsin University, or Wisconsin Oshkosh as it is. Pitch high and away for a ball. That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. I'm glad you said it, not me.
He's from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and attends Wisconsin Oshkosh. He will be a senior this year. 3-2 after a pitch high and away. Now the full count pitch, something taken off and lined up the middle for a base hit. And Alex Cook, a leadoff single for Wellington.
Hit it right back where it was pitched, right up the middle. Nice smooth swing. And now you got a runner on. Center fielder, you assume he can run. We'll see if they put a play on with no outs to try to regain the lead here. Tied at 1-1 in the bottom of the second.
Scott, speed is something Wellington has a huge advantage in
I agree.
This tournament.
Third baseman expecting a bunt down here.
10 stolen bases for Wellington in the tournament. Dubler bunts toward the pitcher. He juggles, picks up, and then everybody's safe. That's going to be an error on Spahman as Dubler bunted, and Spahman simply mishandled the bounce and then picked it up and threw too late.
It took a weird hop away from him, and he had to reach down, and he went to grab it, and he just couldn't get it out of his glove after the weird hop, and that allowed the speedster to get down there and beat the throw.
That will be an E1 on Spallman. So first and second for Wellington now. Nobody out for Noataka Fujieta, the designated hitter, in there from the left side of the plate. First error of the game for either team against Seattle here in the bottom of the second inning of a 1-1 tie. Spallman will go through the stretch, looks back at second a couple times. Fujieta shows bunt, nothing doing. Then a snap throw to second was close. Koch almost got thrown out by the catcher, Breda. He was leaning toward third, running towards third, but Fujieta didn't get the bunt down. Then he had to scramble back. So the count is now 0-1 to Fujieta. Through this stretch goes Spallman, checks the runner at second again, not once but twice. Now a third time. And Fujieta shows bunt again, this inside, and he stabbed at it, missed. 0-2, and likely the bunt will be taken off now.
Wow, see right there, that goes back to fundamentals where you have to be able, Steve, to get that bunt down. No outs, guys in first and second, an opportunity to open this game up a little bit. Now you're swinging away, and if you hit a double play, whoo.
Bouncing ball to first, fielded there by Arrington. It deflects off his chest, then he picks it up and steps on the bag. That worked like a bunt, though.
Yes, it did, luckily.
It still moves the runners up.
It very easily could have been a double play ball, but the first baseman hit him off his chest, took a funny hop, hit off his chest, and he had to recover and just get the out at first. That, like you said, that did work like a bunt. Now you got guys on second and third with only one out.
Getting back to the speed for Wellington, Scott, the starting lineup for the Heat, 10 of 11 in stolen base attempts in the tournament.
Pretty impressive, Steve.
While Seattle is just 4 for 4. Cody Robinson starts off by fouling one out of play, 0-1 to him.
The hottest hitter amongst the lineup for the Heat.
Runners at second and third. Bottom of the second inning, tied at 1. 1 run, though, on 3 hits for Wellington, and they may not be done here in the bottom of the second with only 1 out. Runners at second and third. Swing and a miss to Robinson, though. He's down on the count, 0-2.
He was just trying to put the ball in play there and just really missed badly as the breaking pitch broke way away from him and wasn't able to get it.
Robinson, again, as we talked about, 7 of 12 in the tournament coming into play tonight, but hitting out of the 9 spot for Wellington. Here's the 0-2, outside, ball 1. Seattle fans and players wanted that, but that was no doubt. Spallman was trying to toy with him on the outside, but he had a pitch to burn. Ahead in the count, 0-2. The infield, by the way, for Seattle is playing in a 1-1 tie, bottom of the second inning. Here's the 1-2, driven to left field, pretty well struck. This ought to score the run. Riker back to his left, makes the catch, gets rid of it in a hurry. But coming home to score is Alex Koch on a sacrifice fly for Cody Robinson. And it's 2-1. Now Wellington's got the lead.
Did what they had to do. Move the runners over. Got the guy in scoring position. Sacrifice fly. Patent baseball 101. Moving the runners and making things happen.
So Cody Robinson picks up his first RBI of the tournament without the benefit of having to have an at-bat. A sacrifice fly, no official at-bat. Runner at second, 2 outs, 2-1 Wellington as the Heat go back to the top of their order with David Burtz.
His first RBI, by the way, of the tournament.
Burtz takes a strike, and it's 0-1 to him. Burtz led off the first inning with a single. Later came around to score. Alex Spallman continues to work from the stretch with 2 outs and a runner at second. Looks back that way a couple times, throws home. In on the fists, muscled into center field, a base hit. They'll wave Doubler around third. He will come home to score. It's an RBI single for Burtz, and it's 3-1. Heat have the lead.
He actually fisted that, got him off on the hands, and just had enough muscle to muscle that thing right between the shortstop and the second baseman as it just leaked out in the center field, and it was enough, is slow enough for the runner on second to score, and makes it 3-1. Man, what a big inning for the Wellington Heat.
So Alex Lyon in with a runner at first and 2 outs, 3-1 Heat. And Scott, one thing to notice is the Heat are doing a good job of manufacturing runs. First pitch to Lyon, swung on and missed. They're not crushing the ball, but they've got the bunts down, they've got the sacrifice fly, and timely hitting, albeit a soft hit to center, but it did the job.
The old motto, hit it where they ain't. That's what they're doing right now.
0-1 to Alex Lyon, who had a sacrifice bunt that helped score a run back in the bottom of the first inning. There goes the runner, the pitch to Lyon. Big swing and a miss. Throw to second, bounces in.
Not a chance.
And safe at second base, David Burtz with a stolen base.
Boy, I tell you, you're right. You brought up 10 and 11 stolen bases, now 11 and 12. There's a reason why, boy, I tell you. Fast on the base pass.
And for David Burtz, that is his third stolen base in this World Series in 3 attempts. So that's a guy that's doing some damage, making something happen at the top of the lineup, getting on and getting over. 0-2 though to Lyon. So Alex Lyon has to protect. This one close at 80, but just away. Ball 1. 1-2 with 2 outs. Runner at second, bottom of the second, but 2 runs in for the Wellington Heat. They lead Seattle 3-1. Through the stretch, Spauman checks the runner at second, and the pitch swung on and missed, strike 3, and down go the Heat. But 2 more score for Wellington in the inning. They leave 1 at second, but after 2 now, the Heat 3, Seattle 1 at the 84th NBC on KQAM. Well, the difference in the game, the 2-run, bottom of the second for the Wellington Heat. They lead the Seattle Studs by the score of 3-1 as we head now to inning number 3 here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Our thanks to Davis Liquor for bringing you coverage of the 84th NBC. Davis Liquor, several Wichita locations. So here we go to the third now. First batter for the Seattle Studs in the third is Kyle Bowe, the third baseman, and he takes a strike from Sam Curtis, 0-1. Bowe, then Landon Riker and Brennan Hancock, 3, 4, and 5 for the Studs as Bowe sends one on a high hop over to third. Cody Robinson brings it down,
play.
Tosses across for a 5-3 putout, 1 away.
East side of Wichita, just south of Wesley Medical Center, as one of the most centrally located hotels in Wichita.
So nobody on 1 out. That'll bring up Landon Riker, the left fielder.
The left fielder, number 10.
The National Junior College national team and the Colorado Cyclones, the final game of the day, about 30 minutes after the completion of this one. So Riker steps in 0 for 1, having flown out to center field, takes the first offering, a breaking ball away, 1 ball and no strikes to Riker. That National Junior College All-Star team is fun to watch.
You know what? Talented bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can hit the ball well too.
Pitch in there for a strike at 88 miles an hour. Curtis comes back with a fastball. It's 1-1. Some of the best JUCO players from across the country on that NJCAA team. 1-1. Fouled back out of play.
That came off the bat like a Roman candle.
89 mile an hour fastball, and the foul ball by Riker might have added some velocity to it.
Yeah, he sure did.
Curtis through the wind, and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. A breaking ball at 81, and down goes Riker.
Pulled the string on that one.
And that's just the first strikeout of the game for Sam Curtis. A guy that does not blow you away with the strikeouts or overpower you, but he's getting the job done so far. 3-1. Wellington's got the lead here in the top of the third inning. Now Brennan Hancock steps in, the designated hitter. Curtis to Hancock, way in tight for the ball. Yeah, that one real close. 2 games tomorrow. There will be 4 teams left, and then after Friday night, 2 teams will be left standing for Saturday's championship game. We'll also have that here on KQAM. The 1-0 fouled over the dugout on the third base side, sends some fans scrambling. Hopefully everybody's okay. 1-1. Brennan Hancock, 0 for 1. He ended the first inning by grounding out to second base. 2 for 10 now, batting .200 in the tournament. Takes a close one on the inside part of the plate, but too far apparently. 2-1. Shadows now a little bit more noticeable on the infield, is not any cloud cover from the sun as this one bounced just outside the bag at first. So the infield, though, is pretty much entirely in shadows. However, the sunshine could come into play on fly balls to second base or right field, because Caleb Doubler, the right fielder, looking right into that sun, and to an extent, David Burtz at second is as well.
It's brutal right now.
In fact, Burtz is shading his eyes with his arm right now. Here's the pitch. Down and in.
Hit him.
That hit him. Down to first base goes Hancock.
You know what's neat about the NBC World Series? You can bring your animal to the stadium. And our great listener, Ryan, brought his puppy out tonight. We brought Gizmo, and Shannon brought her pet Tommy G tonight. Boy, he eats a lot.
I've heard he devours funnel cakes.
Oh,
like nobody's
unbelievable.
business.
You can't take him anywhere.
Henry Cheney in, right-handed batter, takes outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
He won the hot dog eating contest, and he gave him a 5-minute start.
Runner at first, 2 away. Top of the third inning, 3-1 Wellington. Sam Curtis from the wind and delivers to Cheney outside.
That's just proof right there. You should have your pet spayed or neutered every day. Bob Barker was right.
2 balls and no strikes to Henry Cheney.
Well, down 2 runs here. Seattle really, really needs to put something back on the board here with 2 outs. See if they can get something going here with 2 balls here. Swing and a miss. Fouled back.
2 balls and a strike now to Cheney.
You know, you got to give Sam Curtis credit, Steve. He's been in some trouble, and he's bailed himself out with 2 straight innings.
And he's done so not trying to blow people away,
exactly.
But even in jams, still allowing Seattle to put the ball in play, but trusting his gloves behind him, and they've done the job. There goes the runner, the pitch, high inside, throw down to second is a little bit late, and a stolen base for Brennan Hancock.
That was close, but got in there with a head-first slide, got the hand in there before the tag was put down. Now you got a runner in scoring position with 2 away, and Henry Cheney has an opportunity to get 1 run closer here with 1 swing of the bat.
Cheney from Gig Harbor, Washington, attending the University of Portland, where he'll be a sophomore this year. Swing and a miss, strike 2, and the count's now full, 3-2.
Had some giddy up on that one, almost 90 mile an hour at 89. Now evens it up, full count with 2 outs.
And we've seen Curtis get as high as 92 so far tonight. Runner gets his lead. Nobody holding him on at second. That's Hancock, and the 3-2 outside, ball 4.
Like I said earlier, that really doesn't hurt you much. You don't really want to walk a guy in the 6, 7, 8, 9 hole, but now you have a force out at any base, so it's not a bad walk.
So in all 3 innings now, Seattle's had runners at first and second.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They had first and second with 1 out in both the first and second innings, and they scored 1 run in the second. Here it's first and second with 2 outs. Tanner Arrington in, takes a fastball at 89.
Arrington still no batting average going into this game.
Hit by a pitch in the second inning. 0 for 4 coming into the game. Curtis stretching a long look home, fires, took something off there at 79, and the change chopped foul behind the plate. 0-2.
Now, you either bring heat high and away, lefties love fastballs up and away, or you bring that backdoor curveball and see if you can freeze him. As Arrington chokes up with 2 strikes.
Curtis will stretch and deliver over his head, reaching up and snaring that one, Joe Rankin.
That was high, but it was the wrong direction. About ear holding.
High and very tight.
Yes, sir.
The wind I mentioned that was blowing in from left field fairly significantly too a little bit ago has already died down, and the flags in right field again limp as the 1-2 chopped foul at the plate.
Another changeup.
So the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3-1 Wellington, top of the third inning. The Seattle Studs batting. But runners at first and second for Seattle with 2 outs. So a double here or an extra base hit could tie the score. And you've got Tanner Arrington, a first baseman, up there, due to make something happen. 0 for 4 in the tournament. Seattle fans putting their hands together near the third base dugout, looking for a 2-out rally. Here's the pitch. In tight, it almost hit him again. Maybe it did.
I'm thinking it did, unless it hit the bottom of the handle of the bat.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a foul ball, or is it a hit batsman? It definitely hit him, and he did not swing, so that's a hit batsman. And he'll go to first base.
Showed the umpire the mark. You don't see that every day. As bullpen's in a hurry now for Wellington. Looks like Hayden Woolsey, a left-hander, is going to hustle down there and warm up.
Yeah, here in the third inning, after 2 outs were recorded quickly for Sam Curtis in Wellington, Curtis has hit a batter, issued a walk, then hit another batter. That's not what you want to do with 2 away. Infield at normal depth, though. They can get the force at any base, including home, with the bases loaded. Here's Garrett Breda taking a ball, 1-0. And all of a sudden, Sam Curtis having all kinds of trouble finding the strike zone.
Yeah, against Garrett Breda, who is batting .444 in this series with 2 RBIs.
Right-handed hitter, Curtis through the wind and delivers. Outside
Wow.
edge at the letters.
Gave him that one.
1-1. The middle infielders playing on what would be the cut of an outfield grass, except this is an artificial surface field, but playing rather deep on this turf. The ball can scoot rather quickly. Well behind the bag, both corner infielders, Amaro at first and Robinson over at third. Curtis looks in at Rankin for a while, waiting for the signal he likes. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Line foul behind the plate. Bangs off the press box to our right. 1-2. Bright sunshine off to the west. You can tell the west side of all the buildings in downtown Wichita, bright and sunny, but clouds, light clouds above us. Again, nothing that looks like will bring any precipitation. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Change at 76, stays up high. So the count is even, 2-2. Deuce is wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded, Wellington with a 2-run lead. Sam Curtis delivers, and this one swung on, lifted center field over to his right. Alex Cook drifting back a little now. He'll make.
Good evening and welcome to Lawrence Dumont Stadium. I'm KSN Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman in the Storm Track 3 Weather Center, keeping a close eye on Doppler radar because there are some storms that have been bubbling up in central and eastern Kansas, and they'll continue to pop up like popcorn all the way through sundown. But as the sun sets tonight, it looks like that activity is expected to wane. We will have crystal clear skies tonight and tomorrow, an even hotter day with temperatures soaring into the middle 90s. Heat indices are expected close to 100 degrees. So isolated thunderstorms, those will be around. Few and far between, so keep an eye to the sky there. Temperatures this evening will be in the lower 90s, upper 60s tonight. It will be a humid night, and yes, that will lead to hot and humid conditions for tomorrow afternoon with more spotty storms developing toward evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening here at the ballpark.
Check the video board tonight. You can get your face right on it. All you gotta do is take a picture and use the social media hashtag NBCWS18 to see your photos on our big screen tonight. That's the NBC World Series hashtag NBCWS18 to get your photo on the big screen here tonight.
Our thanks to Midwest Kia
See you, buddy.
and Rusty Eck Ford, proud sponsors of our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. To the bottom of the third we go. Wellington now a chance to add to their 3-1 lead. Luis Amaro, the number 3 hitter in their lineup, will lead off, followed by Joe Rankin and Kevin Conley. So 3, 4, and 5 for Wellington, up 3-1. And the first pitch from Alex Spallman, and at 82 miles an hour on the inside edge, a strike to Amaro. Amaro is 0 for 1. Flew out to left field in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch lifted that way again. Shallow left. Riker is there again. And he camps under it, makes the catch, and for the second time tonight, Luis Amaro flies out to left field, one away, bottom of the third inning. So that'll bring up the catcher, Joe Rankin. Rankin, 1 for 1, an RBI single in the bottom of the first inning. He got it started for Wellington, who scored that single run in the first, and then a 2-run spot in the second inning. Takes a strike, 0-1 to Rankin. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona. He'll be a senior at Southwestern University. The 0-1 to Rankin. Slow breaking ball lifted the other way to right field. Back a few steps, Henry Cheney. Drifting back, Cheney's there for another fly out, this one to right. And 2 quick flyouts for the Heat in the bottom of the third inning. Temperature has already dipped a few degrees below 90 degrees. We started at 93, but already down to 87 degrees as we have just hit 8 o'clock Central Time. Very comfortable night for baseball. Again,
beautiful night for baseball.
Here's Kevin Conley now, the center fielder, bunting up the third baseline, but it'll dribble foul. Kyle Bowe charging in, scoops it up just outside the line, 0-1. We have not yet set the defense for Seattle. Tanner Arrington at first base, Cody Banks at second, Colin Wolfe at short, Kyle Bowe is at third. The outfield from left to right, Landon Riker, Connor Savage, Henry Cheney in right, and then Garrett Breida behind the plate. Alex Spauman is the pitcher. And he's ahead in the count to Kevin Conley, 0-1. Spauman works from the line with nobody on, 2 outs, delivers the 0-1, down and away. This is the kind of start to an inning, Scott, that Spauman needed, who's been in trouble in both of the first 2 innings.
It is, yes.
But
now,
not over yet.
I was just going to say, yeah, we're still early, right?
Time is called. Conley is asking the home plate umpire, Tim Cordell, something, and now Cordell shook his head yes and steps back in. The 1-1, tried to check his swing, and he did not. 1-2 on an 80-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. The Santa Barbara Foresters are in tomorrow's semis, and so are the San Antonio Angels after wins by those two earlier today. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes a pitch. Outside edge, strike 3.
Wow.
And Conley knew it. He put his head down and walked.
At Davis Moore, we pride ourselves on our ability to provide a safe and reliable driving experience to all of our customers. When we say that safety is our top priority, we mean it. That's why every single one of our pre-owned vehicles goes through a 171-point inspection before it ever goes on our lot. And with our Davis Moore 360 guarantee, you can drive forever, worry-free. So let us prove to you that we have the best car care and best customer experience, and why nobody beats a Davis Moore deal. Come by any one of our 5 Davis Moore locations or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
Our thanks to Cherry Oaks Golf Course and Cheney for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Shire Graphics, also one of our great sponsors, and Just Right Auto Repair.
Second baseman number 14, Cody Banks.
We go to the 4th inning now, and Cody Banks will lead off for Seattle. Number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Studs takes a strike from Sam Curtis. 0-1. Banks then back to the top of the order, Connor Savage and Connor Wolfe. 1-2 for Seattle, with the Wellington Heat leading in this quarterfinal game 3-1. The 0-1 to Banks, lifted high, foul out of play, 0-2. Tommy Gallegos joins me here in the booth for the 4th inning. Hello, Tommy.
Good evening, Steve. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Impressed with this Wellington team so far in all phases.
No doubt about it. I mean, they're just playing straight Wellington baseball.
Hitting's been timely, good base running, good pitching. High chopper over to short. There's another example. Defense charging in. Alex Lyon from short fields the two-hopper and throws to first just in time. Nicely done by Lyon. He had to get rid of that in a hurry.
He sure did. The speed of the batter there. I mean, and he had to play it off the turf real quick and get it over there, and he did that and got a base or got an out.
So here's Connor Savage now. Steps in from the left side of the plate. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the 4th inning, Wellington 3, Seattle 1. Pitch down and in as Savage was showing bunt right there, but no real chance with that one where it was. No balls and a strike. Left-handed hitting, Connor Savage, center fielder for Seattle. We've already seen some of his speed. Now we see some power. A liner to right field, backing up and leaping up and making a catch is Doubler in right. He was going straight back, and he thought he was going to get caught too shallow. Then he leaped with his back facing the fence straight up. What a catch.
A fantastic catch by the right fielder there. I mean, like you said, he had a good angle on it, but then he had to go back on it, and he got it after a solid hit.
Doubler wanted to turn his shoulder and run back, but if he had done that, he would have lost track of the ball. So he just straight backpedaled and leaped and barely made the catch. Nicely done. Colin Wolfe now, a breaking ball at 74, takes inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. So in the bottom of the last inning, Wellington went 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. And now Sam Curtis 2/3 there to Seattle here in the top of the 4th. 90-mile-an-hour fastball called a strike to Wolfe. And the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Curtis ready, delivers the 1-1. Line foul just outside the bag at third. That was at 75, and the count's now 1-2.
The bullpen went down there, but no action going right now, Steve, so they're having some confidence in Curtis and letting him get the job done.
There is some activity in the Seattle bullpen. As often on struggles, mostly on for Alex Spaulding. Although, again, he did have a 1-2-3 bottom of the 3rd for the first time tonight. Pitch high and away to Wolfe, and the count's even 2-2. Nobody on, 2 outs. Top of the 4th inning. Wellington 3, Seattle 1. This tournament is down to 6 teams. It'll be down to 4 by the end of the night. Lifted, right center field. Coming on is going to be the center fielder to his left, Cook, and he makes a running catch in the gap. He closed it down in right center to make the catch, and there is the first 1-2-3 for Seattle. After 3.5, Wellington 3, Seattle 1 at the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM.
Mount up, take off, and chase the sun. Experience more of what makes Kansas great. And let K-Tag help you get there. 236 miles of road, endless destinations of wonder. Start your adventure with K-Tag. Get your free K-Tag at myktag.com.
In the 7th inning, we'll have our Champ Sports Bar and Grill giveaway. A lucky listener will receive a free hamburger, French fries, and a non-alcoholic beverage from Champ's Sports Bar and Grill. Stay tuned for that. Also, our thanks to Taco Prano for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Taco Prano, with 2 West Wichita locations. Ask about their Money Saver combo. Here we go, bottom of the 4th inning now, and it's Alex Cook who made that nice running catch to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. Cook, then Caleb Doubler and Noataka Fujita. 6, 7, and 8 for Wellington, leading 3-1. Cook lines one to center, and his counterpart Connor Savage trots in a few steps and makes the catch. 1 quick out here in the inning. And Tommy, maybe these pitchers now are starting to settle in as we've had back-to-back sides retired in order, and we've started off the bottom of the 4th with an out.
Well, it seems, Steve, what seems to be happening from my point of view is that these guys, it takes a couple innings to get set, and once they get going pretty well.
So here's Caleb Doubler now, the right fielder. And Doubler takes one inside for a ball, 1-0. He had that nice running catch in the last half inning, backpedaling straight back toward the right field fence. Didn't have time to turn his shoulder, just on a straight back pedal, leaped up and made a nice catch on a line drive. Takes one outside, 2-0.
Going off his pure baseball instinct, I think, there with not turning the shoulder.
He reached on an error in the second inning. He is 0 for 1. Inside, and the count's now 3-0. And Alex Spaulding is behind now. And there is still activity down in the Seattle bullpen. Doubler, by the way, came around to score on that throwing error, that fielding error back in the second inning. So that turned out to be a costly error on the pitcher, Spaulding, who delivers low and away here. And that is ball 4. And down to first base goes Doubler.
The designated hitter number 1, Nawataka Fujita.
So here's Noataka Fujita now, the designated hitter, who bounced out to first his last time up. Left-handed hitter. Fujita from Kanagawa, Japan. And he bunts one just up the third baseline, takes a high bounce. It's a fair ball, but it does the job as Fujita's out. 2-3, but down to second goes Doubler.
Pure small ball there, Steve, is what it was. He got his man over. Any run here is important to either side. I mean, Wellington does hold a 2-run lead, but they're trying to pad that lead and give his pitcher some insurance.
So Cody Robinson now will step in. Runner at second, 2 outs. Runner at scoring position for Wellington. Robinson had a sacrifice fly his last time up, so no official at bat yet for him. Takes a strike, 0-1. Robinson, though, the hottest hitter on Wellington coming into the game. He is batting out of the 9 spot. The 0-1 down in the turf. Good stop that time by Breda. 1-1. Cody Robinson from Dewey, Oklahoma, attending Southwest Christian. Or at least he did. He is graduated from there. Through the stretch goes Spaulding. Long look at second. And the pitch home. Took something off, lined into the gap, left center field. That's down for a base hit. They'll try to wave the runner around third. Here comes Doubler. He will score ahead of the run, ahead of the throw. It's an RBI single for Cody Robinson, and it's 4-1. Heat have the lead.
A great hit by Cody Robinson there, and getting that bunt down earlier, got the man over to scoring position. He got the hit, and we scored a run.
So there is the benefit of putting your best hitter in the tournament at the number 9 spot, Cody Robinson, an RBI single. And now you get to flip it back to the top of the order with David Burtz, with a runner at first and 2 outs. And Cody Robinson now gets his lead as Burtz takes a fastball on the outside edge, 0-1. But Wellington continues to come through with timely hitting. Their defense has been solid. Their pitching has been pretty good. They've been good in all 3 phases, and they lead 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Through this stretch goes Spaulding, looks at first, and the pitch home. Fastball on the outside edge, a strike. It's 0-2.
Yeah, all these runs are important in a win-or-go-home type of ball game here.
That's what we've reached now. No more pool play. Win and you stay, lose and you go home. Burtz swinging a hot stick tonight, 2 for 2. Bounces one left side over to short. Nice play by the shortstop Wolf. A strong throw to first, not in time though. He had to go deep in his hole to his right. That one took a couple of hops. He tried to skip it in, but just too quick. David Burtz down the line, an infield base hit.
Great effort by Colin Wolf, the shortstop, going to his right. However, too much speed and too deep in the hole there. So runners on first and second, but nonetheless, a great effort by the shortstop.
So first and second, like Tommy said, with 2 outs for Alex Lyon. And all of a sudden, another runner in scoring position for Wellington as the pitch off speed and in tight, 77 miles an hour. 1 ball and no strikes to Alex Lyon. 4 runs on 6 hits now for Wellington. They're starting to stack up the hits here in just the bottom of the 4th inning. Still only 1 run and 1 hit for Seattle. Through this stretch goes Spaulding. The pitch foul, backing out of play. Still activity down in the Seattle bullpen. as Alex Spaulding laboring again here in the bottom of the 4th inning. He retired the side 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 3rd, but he has struggled in all 3 of the other innings. Taking a long look in to Garrett Breda, the catcher, for his sign. Runners get their leads with 2 outs, nobody holding either of the runners on. Robinson at second or Burt's at first. Through the stretch goes Spaulding, fires home, and another one fouled straight back. And the count is still 1-2.
Be really nice if he can come through with another base hit and get another run around.
You need all you can get in this NBC. You just never know. When teams play with desperation, strange things have been known to happen. Through the stretch goes Spaulding. Looks back at second and fires home high and tight for a ball. Two and two the count with 2 outs. Runners at first and second. So 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 count to Alex Lyon. Through this stretch goes Spaulding again. 2 looks at second, fires home, bounced foul outside the bag at third. And the count still 2-2.
Outside of the San Antonio Angels and the Colorado Cyclones, their later tonight participant, these teams have come in playing 3 games already. So.
And Alex Spaulding, just in the 4th inning, has thrown an awful lot of pitches for just being in the 4th inning. Here comes the 2-2. Another one fouled back and out of play, and Alex Lyon is forcing Spaulding to throw even more by doing a good job of staying alive.
Great battle, Steve, right here.
Make an appointment at 316-942-07.
So we try it again at 2-2 as the runners retreat with 2 outs. 4-1 Wellington with the lead. Heat trying to add to their lead. They've only been held scoreless in 1 inning so far. That's the 3rd. Single runs in the 1st, 2nd, and this the 4th. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and a good job by Spaulding to finish.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
Good job, Tommy G.
Tommy G, best pinch hitter we got.
You can get $50 off any electrical or plumbing service call at Faunastock. Call 943-HEAT, 943-HEAT, and the folks at Faunastock will take care of that. Here we go now, 5th inning. Kyle Bowe leads off for Seattle, trailing the Wellington Heat by the score of 4-1. Sam Curtis's first pitch to Bowe, a fastball at 87, outside half a strike, 0-1.
Still good velocity by Sam Curtis to start inning number 5.
Welcome back, Scott Stiles.
Thank you.
That time a slider misses the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bowe. Bowe, Landon Riker, Brennan Hancock, 3, 4, and 5 for Seattle, trailing Wellington 4-1 as we've made our way to the middle innings. The 1-1 swung on and missed at 86. That one a little down. And coming up empty, Kyle Bowe, 1-2.
Kyle Bowe, the number 3 hitter in the order, only hitting 182 in this tournament.
Count stays at 1-2 as Bowe sends one foul on the right side out of play. Bowe walked in the first inning, then grounded out to third in the third. So An 0 for 1 start for him. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball down and away. 88 miles an hour. 2-2. Sam Curtis has danced in and out of trouble. The only time Seattle scored was in the second. That one bounces in off the turf a couple feet in front of the plate, and the count's full 3-2. He has not been perfect, although he did have a 1-2-3 fourth.
Boy, Kyle Bowe would want nothing more than find a way to get on base here, get Seattle some runners, see if they can get something done here in the top of the fifth, down 4-1.
Pitch to Bowe, down and away, ball 4, a full count pitch and a walk, and Bowe is aboard at first base.
Left fielder number 10, Landon Riker.
So for the second time now in 5 innings, Seattle's had their leadoff batter aboard, and Landon Riker will step in. And Scott, this time it's a leadoff batter reaching via the walk, and you know what many times that can spell.
Absolutely. Stolen base, or they'll move the run over here, but they're down 3. I think he'd swing away.
Riker takes down and away for a ball. I'll tell you what else it spells. Not only potential trouble for Wellington, all of a sudden activity stirring down in the Wellington bullpen.
Yeah, it's Hayden Woosley back up again, the left-hander.
Curtis from the stretch looks over at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Slow breaking ball at 76. Lifted in a lazy fly ball to left center field. Backing up to his left is Conley. He'll settle under it, make the catch for a long fly to left, 1 away.
Can of corn out there for the left fielder, Kevin Conley. 1 out in the inning. That brings up the number 5 hitter, Brennan Hancock.
And anything you see deep to left is not wind aided, as it's been much of the tournament. No breeze right now, and there's not been much of the night. And what little time we had a breeze, it was in from left field.
That's correct.
Pitch high and tight now to Brennan Hancock. 1-0 to him. Hancock is 0 for 1. He is grounded out to second and been hit by a pitch as well. Curtis from the stretch, the 1-0, another one in tight. And the count's 2-0. 4-1 Wellington, a visitor's half of inning number 5. Seattle batting still with only 1 hit in the game, the Studs are. Open stance from the left-handed batter's box for Hancock. Pitch inside again. That's 3 straight that Curtis has brought too tight. And the count's 3-0.
Wellington dugout chirping at the home plate umpire a little bit as he turns his head to acknowledge him. That was close. He'll be taken all the way here.
The 3-0, he is, and it's high, ball 4. That one looked like it was over the inside half, but a little bit above the letters, and the second walk of the inning issued by Sam Curtis.
Now, Steve, down 4-1, nobody out. You got the bottom half of the order coming up. Do you move the runners here to try to get 2 runs in scoring position? Or you let them swing away and have an opportunity hitting the double play? This is the choice managers have to make.
I don't think with 1 out you want to bunt right
I'm sorry, 1 out.
Pitch close. Not sure where it was, but it was not a strike according to Tim Cordell. Maybe up high. 1-0.
5 balls in a row.
Infield looks for the double play. The only 2 base runners on in the inning for Seattle, both via the walk. 1 ball, no strikes to Henry Chaney. There's a strike on the outside edge at 86, 1-1.
First strike in 6 pitches for Sam Curtis.
There have been 7 bases on balls or hit batsmen issued by Sam Curtis. Just 1 base hit. Fastball fouled back and out of play at 89.
And unfortunately for Sam Curtis, he's been used to this setup. We ought to start the inning with guys on first and second for him.
In his defense, he has been able to bail himself out most of the time. Henry Chaney, one of those who was issued a walk back in the 3rd inning. Through the stretch goes Curtis. The 1-2 off speed and bounce to short. They'll go to second for 1. The relay back to first is in time. Nice scoop by Amaro off the short hop. A 6-4-3 double play.
What a scoop by the first baseman.
I'm very proud to live and work in Kansas. I've spent the majority of my life in Kansas and have really come to love both the big cities and the small communities. The smaller communities are more similar to farm towns where I grew up, and I've found that those same types of people are all over the state. And again, it's great to have those people as clients and partners. I'm looking forward to the future in Kansas and the Wichita office and all across the state, because there's a lot of needs, and people are starting to recognize those needs. I also love the people that we get to work with in the various communities that we get to work. It's a great atmosphere. It's great clients to have, great partners to have.
Well, not a real surprise. We've reached the end of the line for Alex Spauman, the starter for the Seattle Studs, and he is given way to relief pitcher Xander Klaus. Xander Klaus out of Kenmore, Washington, and Liberty University, where he last pitched in 2017. So Luis Amaro, who made that nice dig to finalize a 6-4-3 double play in the top of the fifth inning, will lead the bottom of the fifth inning off for Wellington. First pitch from Klaus to Amaro, 76-mile-an-hour breaking ball, cut on and missed, 0-1. Amaro, then Joe Rankin and Kevin Conley, 3, 4, and 5 for the Heat, who have been putting the heat on Seattle all night long. A run in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the fourth. They lead Seattle 4-1. Klaus works from the windup and delivers, and that one a breaking ball at 75, catches the inside edge, 0-2. Luis Amaro has gone the other way twice, 2 flyouts to left field. Here's the 0-2, and he sends another one that way down the left field line. Drifting over toward the line is Riker. He's there. He's got it. That's 3 straight flyouts to left for Luis Amaro.
Yeah, getting around late on that. New pitcher as well, facing a new pitcher in Xander Klaus.
Klaus is 6'2", 190 pounds. He pitched 2 seasons at Liberty, and he had a 7-4 record in 2016 and 2017. He has already graduated from there as Joe Rankin steps in and takes a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. 38 combined appearances in 2 seasons for Klaus at Liberty.
Nice job by him at Liberty.
The 1-0 fouled back and out of play, 1-1. He's a right-handed pitcher. In 2016, he walked 32 and knocked that down to 11 the following season.
That's good work. Boy, fooled him there.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count now, as that one was taken for a strike by Rankin, who's 1 for 2 tonight. RBI single and a fly out to right field. Fastball up high at 90, so Klaus hits 90. And it's now 2-2. 43 walks and 59 strikeouts in 2 seasons at Liberty for Klaus in 2016 and 17. Another one fouled back and out of play. Counts 2-2. 4-1 Wellington, home half of inning number 5. Still only 1 hit for Seattle. It seems like more because they've had and stranded so many base runners. Bouncing ball to short, on 2 hops out to Wolf. He'll throw to first in time, a 6-3 putout, and there's 2 away. But that's all those walks and hit batsmen that Curtis has allowed. But for the most part, except for the second inning, Scott, they did not come back to bite Wellington.
No, not at all. You know, Wellington has scored every inning but the third, as you alluded to earlier, Steve. And this would be only the second time in the game they have not scored in an inning. Right now leading 4-1 on 6 hits, no errors, and only 1 hit for the Studs.
Kevin Conley sends one pretty well struck to left field. Going back is Riker near the track. He makes the catch and hauls it in. And for the second time in 3 innings, the Heat go in order. But after 5, it's Wellington 4, Seattle 1 at the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM.
Hey, fans, it's time for our mascot race here tonight.
Wow.
Courtesy of Butler Community College. Come to Butler Community College for 2 years, then go anywhere. Take your credits with you. Start at Butler, save money, transfer to you.
Colin Cowherd was raving about Mahomes today. He was like, everybody's talking about all these rookie quarterbacks, Darnold and Josh Allen and blah, blah, blah. He's like, nobody's talking about Patrick Mahomes, partly because he's not a rookie, but he said, if that guy turns out to be what I think he can, the Chiefs are legit in the AFC.
Wonder how he's doing tonight.
I don't know.
Nice.
Not bad.
5 for 7. Very conservative Andy Reid play calling tonight.
Tyler Frazier talked about me. He said he can catch and throw from the press box now.
That's great.
Just Right Auto Repair, Shire Graphics, thanks to them for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. And Davis Liquor as well. Several Wichita locations. Stop by and see the folks at Davis Liquor, and our thanks to them for bringing you our coverage of the 84th NBC. On to the sixth we go. Tanner Arrington, first pitch swinging, bounces one to second, and an easy play for David Burtz. A 4-3 putout, one away, and Scott Stiles. Sam Curtis has thrown a lot of pitches tonight for having only given up one run and a hit because of the walks and hit batsmen. He'll take a first pitch swing all night long.
He will, and that's what Seattle's going to have to do, is really work this guy over a little bit. Sam Curtis, like you said, has thrown a lot of pitches. Take some. Get him deep in the order like he has been. See if you can do some damage there, as that's ball one. But right now, what you're doing is you're allowing him first pitch hitting, and Wellington not having to go to the bullpen yet. That just preserves their bullpen for later on in the tournament if they transfer.
The 1-0 lined into left field, and that's going to be played on a hop by Conley. So the second hit of the baseball game for Seattle, not until the sixth inning. A one-out single for Garrett Breda. He's on at first base. So that'll bring up Cody Banks. Cody Banks has walked and grounded out. He's 0 for 1. 0 for 2 in the tournament. Only one at bat prior to the game. Sam Curtis from the stretch delivers down and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes, and 88-mile-an-hour fastball. The lights have been on for several minutes now here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Temperature holding at 87. It's been there for a while. The 1-0, outside edge, a strike, another fastball at 88, 1-1. Can the Colorado Cyclones tonight at 9:30 match the San Antonio Angels and move to 8-0 in this tournament? They'll play the National Junior College National Team as a 76-mile-an-hour off speed, down and away 2-1.
That'll be an intriguing game as well right after this one.
What a great story those two teams are. 2 balls and a strike. Here comes the pitch. Lifted on the infield. The shortstop Lyon barely moving. Almost standing stationary like a statue, makes the catch at short, 2 away.
Those are the kind of outs you'll take all night long, Stevie.
And again, Seattle not working deep into the count against Sam Curtis, who's thrown quite a few pitches up to the 6th inning.
And also, it's about timing, right? Now you got 2 outs and you're a leadoff on. Top of the order is always coming up at the wrong times with 2 outs.
There is activity in the Wellington bullpen as Cody Banks shows bunt and takes down low unless the appeal is granted by Wellington. It's not. He did not go around. Connor Savage, 1 ball, no strikes. Savage has been on twice tonight. He singled and reached on a fielder's choice, which also drove home a run. He's also got a stolen base to his credit and takes inside.
With the left-handed batter up and you're holding the runner on first base, quite a big hole there on the right side of the infield, Steve, for the left-handed hitter. Savage.
Curtis through the stretch, left-handed hitter, so it's righty versus lefty, and the pitch swung on, little flare to second, backing up his Burtz, he'll catch it on the fly. A soft little liner, might have broken his bat, and the side retired. Garrett Breda, a 1-out single. That's all the noise for Seattle in the 6th. After 5.5, Wellington 4, Seattle 1 at the 84th NBC on KQAM.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
soccer players utilize these fields, and Daryl always makes sure that they're ready to go.
Fusion!
Daryl volunteers his time coaching youth soccer teams here in Wichita. The NBC World Series asks all of you to join us in congratulating and thanking Daryl Hayes for his contributions to our community. There he is right there on the third base side with Dan Rogers.
Fusion! What?
It is an honor of longtime NBC supporter.
The Fusion, Dad!
Terry always wanted to see kids enjoying the NBC World Series, and a few years ago he decided they should be able to enjoy a free hot dog also. The Brewster family carries on the tradition by giving a free hot dog to the first 50 kids who arrive at
To the bottom of the 6th inning, Wellington leading Seattle 4-1, and for the Heat, leading off here in the bottom of the 6th, it'll be Alex Cook, Caleb Doubler, and Noataka Fujita. 6, 7, and 8 for the Heat, leading again by 3, 4-1. As Alex Cook steps in, takes a strike, 0-1. Now Cook set and swings and misses at a 77-mile-an-hour change, and it's 0-2. Xander Klaus out there for his second inning of work for Seattle. Trying to restore order and keep his team in the game. Down and away, 1-2. Still time, Scott, as well. That's why it's important for Klaus. His team down by 3, still with 3.5 innings left. 1-2, Klaus delivers, swung on and missed. That one skips into the turf. Runner going to first. Might be a close play. It is, but the throw just in time, 2-3.
Great job by the catcher for the Studs, Garrett Breda, for finding the ball and throwing it to the inside, not hitting the runner, and getting him by a step on a strike 3 swing and drop, throwing him out at first.
So that'll bring up Caleb Doubler now, the right fielder, who's been on base both times tonight. Takes the first pitch. It's a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. 2 games tomorrow, then the finals on Saturday. We'll have the feature game tomorrow, one of the 2 semis, and then the finals on Saturday. Pitch up high, 2 balls and no strikes to Doubler. Not only has Doubler been on base twice tonight, he has scored 2 times as well. The 2-0 and a changeup at 77 in for his strike. It's 2-1, and Xander Klaus with a really good changeup. Looks like that same fastball motion, but drops it down into the mid to high 70s. Did there at 78. It's 2-2.
For all your vehicle service needs, located at 4411 West Central. Home of the $24 oil change. Call 316.
Nobody on, 1 out.
0707.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-1 Wellington. The pitch swung on and missed by Doubler, and a good job that time by Klaus. He gets the strikeout, 2 away.
I'll tell you what, he's working quick on the mound too, Klaus is, and really putting the hitters in a defensive mode, getting ahead in the count.
He's already matched Alex Spallman's strikeout total, and Spallman pitched 4 innings and had 2 strikeouts. Klaus has pitched 1 2/3, and he's got 2. First pitch to Noataka Fujita is a strike, 0-1. Klaus throwing strikes, almost did there, although that one a little inside. 1-1 to Fujita. Fujita is just 5'7", 165 pounds. Pitch inside, 2-1. Through the wind goes Klaus.
Ooh, about hitting.
Yeah, very tight. Fujita had to dance out of the way in the left-handed batter's box there. Counts 3-1. Boy, you see some really beautiful pink-shaded clouds above as the sun's setting off to the west. Fujita takes a strike, and it's 3-2. Some puffier gray clouds are hanging a little bit lower than above them and a little farther to the north and the west. Some really pretty pinkish, orangish clouds as well. Line foul pulled right side. Counts full at 3-2.
Breeze starting to pick up just a little bit again, going back out towards center field.
So through the wind goes Fujita, goes Klaus, and delivers outside, ball 4, and a full count walk issued to Fujita.
And you said earlier, Steve, Wellington now 11 out of 12 in stolen base department. See if they try to put him in motion with 2 outs.
That might well be the case. Cody Robinson steps in. Good contact hitter as well if you want to try the hit and run as well with 2 away and get that runner in motion. Throw over to first, in fact.
So Klaus is thinking the same thing we are, keep him close at first. Fujita scoots away from the bag, swung on and missed on a 78-mile-an-hour, tailing down from the right-handed hitter, 0-1. Through this stretch.
He was going. He was leaning.
Klaus throws to first.
Got back in time. I say you have nothing to lose here. I'd say you take a chance in stealing.
Jumping away from first, Fujita, not going anywhere. Pitch outside, 1-1.
Fujita gets off the base weird. He crosses his legs right there. You never see that. You're always told to not cross your legs because you can get picked off, but he does it.
Change inside for a ball. And the count's now 2-1.
Watch him cross his legs, Steve, right here. Boom.
Yeah, you get a throw over right at that time. You're off balance and in no man's
very
land.
uncommon to get off there. No.
He's bluffing a move, going nowhere. Then the pitch taken for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Now he's going to go. This is a good pitch to go on because the pitcher can waste one here. If Fujita's got good speed, got a good jump there, he gauged his jump on the last pitch, he'll be going here.
And a throw over to first, and Fujita back diving in again. 2-2 with 2 outs. Runner at first. Wellington leading 4-1. Looking for more. This one yanked foul outside the bag at third.
Woodspring Hotels has 2 great brands for guests to choose from.
So we'll try it again.
Students, players, sports fans, affordable accommodations for a week or longer.
Fujita back to first. Cody Robinson back in again. David Burtz waits on deck if Robinson can get aboard. Here's the pitch. Pokes one, bouncer out to short. Fielded by Wolf, the shortstop charging in, then throws.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
Hey, fun stop. Who wrote the book of love?
Well, there's still time for the Seattle Studs, but the sand in the hourglass starting to drift away as we move to the 7th inning now. Seattle trailing Wellington 4-1. Colin Wolf leads off for the Studs, and the first pitch to Wolf showing bunt, pulls back, and it is a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Sam Curtis still out there dealing for the Wellington Heat on into the 7th inning. Curtis through the wind delivers the 1-0. There's a fastball at 86 miles an hour. It's a strike, 1-1.
You know, I give the kid Sam Curtis a lot of credit, Steve. He's really a gutsy kid out here. Bullpen's empty now. Sam Curtis says, let me go. I got this thing.
Little slicer into right field for a base hit, and Colin Wolf leads off the 7th with a single to right field.
As soon as I say that, they'll probably get the bullpen up again.
Third time in the ball game that the leadoff batter has reached for Seattle, and that'll bring up Kyle Bowe. Just the 3rd hit of the game for Seattle, but they have had their share of base runners, thanks to a number of walks and a few hit batters as well. But only 1 run to show for it as we are in the 7th inning. Kyle Bowe steps in, takes a fastball, outside edge at the letters, 0-1. Bowe, one of those who is not only been walked, but it's happened to him twice in the 1st and his last time up in the 5th inning. He's also grounded out to 3rd, so he's 0 for 1. Right-handed hitter takes a fastball at 85, upstairs for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
A little high there.
Sam Curtis working from the stretch. Scott nailed it. Activity now in the bullpen after the leadoff single for Seattle. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside for a ball, and it's 2-1. That one at 84. But every time that Seattle looks like they might threaten, except for the run they scored in the second, there will be a ground ball double play or a clutch hit that goes by the wayside. There's a strike by Curtis to even things up. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he always seems to find a way. You're there, the defense steps up and makes great plays.
Short lead over at first for Colin Wolfe. He's stolen one base in this World Series. Now a soft little sinking liner to left. Coming on is going to be Conley. He'll have to stop and play it on a hop. And that'll be a single to left for Kyle Bowe. And now Seattle's got something cooking. First and second with nobody out.
Jason Stilley would love to help plan that next event.
Got a visit to the mound coming up here, Steve.
And there's a long look down at the bullpen for Wellington as well. That reliever just started warming up a little bit ago. I think it's Hayden Woolsey again out of Mustang, Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's been up and down a couple times.
So even though he just got up, he might be ready at this point. No signal down to the pen yet. Don't forget, Seattle had runners at first and second in the first 2 innings with only one out both times. And they scored a combined 1 run in those 2 innings. In fact, that's the only run they've scored in the game. They had him at second and third, Scott, in the third inning with 2 outs and stranded those runners. Here, first and second for the first time, though, with nobody out. And we'll see what happens. In fact, when Seattle had him second and third, Scott, in the third inning, there was a hit batsman with 2 outs.
Right.
So they actually left him loaded.
They sure did. With, I think, a soft fly out to end the inning.
So the conversation over out on the hill. Curtis now will look at Landon Riker, who's not had a good night tonight. Riker is 0 for 3, a pair of flyouts to the outfield and a strikeout.
It's got to be a bunting situation. It has to be for the studs.
Infield thinking so. Riker, though, not showing bunt, takes outside for a ball.
That really shocks me.
Luis Amaro is cheating way in up the first baseline. Cody Robinson with a runner at second is pretty much staying even with the bag at third. Up the middle, they're just looking for a ground ball double play. No sign of a bunt again. In fact, a swing and a foul. Back to the screen. It's 1-1 to Riker.
Legacy Advisors Insurance Agency. Call to make sure you and your family are protected at 773-9864.
Riker, a right-handed hitting left fielder for the Seattle Studs. Not showing bunt so far through 2 pitches. We'll see if he is here with a count 1-1. He's not. Fouls another one back, and it's now 1-2. We won't see a bunt now.
Nope. I tell you what, Wellington would like more than anything is just a ground ball double play here. Get a couple outs.
Part of the reason, Scott, might be that coming into the game, he was 5 for 14, 357. Number 4 hitter, the cleanup hitter in their lineup, too.
I understand that, but still, man, when you're having a hard time manufacture runs, you got to get guys in position to help you out.
Another one fouled back, similar location. You might hear that one again bang off the facing of the press box. A little bit below us and down to our right. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count again. Through the stretch goes Curtis and delivers the 1-2. Lined in the left field. Conley coming on at this sinking one, and he's going to short hop it, and now the ball is going to bounce in front of him. He keeps it in front of him, though, and everybody moves up 90 feet. Good job by Conley, who didn't catch it, but he trapped it, then knocked the ball forward. It didn't get by him, preventing the runners from moving any further, but they are loaded with studs.
That was a scary play there. He did a good job, like you alluded to, Steve, of keeping in front, but now we are going to see a pitching change.
So 3 singles back to back to back to start the inning for the Seattle Studs. They've got them loaded with nobody out. That will do it for Sam Curtis, who will get a nice round of applause from his teammates and from his fans as he leaves the game.
Special Olympics tonight.
Pitching change being made. We'll take the timeout, too. Wellington 4, Seattle 1, top of the 7th inning, but the Studs threatening. They've got him loaded with nobody out at the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM.
Attention now, pitching for Wellington, number 24, Hayden Woolsey.
Do what? Oh. Is that on yours or KGSO or both? Yeah. Thank you. Hayden Woolsey out of Mustang, Oklahoma, the new relief pitcher for the Wellington Heat. Let's go ahead and get our contest out of the way from Champs Sports Bar and Grill. We'll do it now. Get your dialing fingers, that is, ready. 721-8255, 316-721-8255. Start calling right now. David Mitchell standing by. The first caller will win a free hamburger, french fries, and non-alcoholic beverage from Champs Sports Bar and Grill on South Seneca. 721-8255 is the number. The first caller will receive a free meal from Champs. So here we go. Critical stretch in the game now. And we've also got a pinch hitter for Seattle, as Ken McCormick out of Bellevue, Washington, and Everett Community College will step in. So a new pitcher about to throw his first pitch, and he's going to throw it to a pinch hitter, Ken McCormick, as Hayden Woolsey is a left-handed pitcher in. So Seattle brings a right-handed hitter up there to counter with the bases loaded, nobody out.
Wow.
And McCormick also represents the go-ahead run in the game. Down by 3 Seattle. First pitch outside for ball.
And that's not what you want to see as a manager. Now we got more action up in the Wellington bullpen.
Things have gotten very interesting all of a sudden.
Steve Pastora, the right-handed, big right-hander for Wellington, is warming up.
Tying runner at first. Go-ahead run at the plate for the Seattle Studs.
Wellington able to concede the run at third, would rather get a double play. So not really worried about the runner at third right now. Up 3 runs.
So nobody playing it on the cut of the grass. Not far behind it at first is Amaro.
There's your
Hot
double
shot,
play.
bouncing ball up the middle, could be 2 to second for 1. Over to first, low throw, dug out by Amaro. So a run will score, but Wellington will take that. A 6-4-3, 2 outs, and it's 4-2.
How valuable of a player is number 37, Luis Amaro? That's 2 or 3 times he's saved a double play by taking one off the turf. Great job by the first baseman and great job by the turn.
So Kyle Bowe does go down to third base. Scoring on the play was Colin Wolfe. No RBI for McCormick, but it is a 4-2 ball game now. Is Henry Cheney was set to step in, but another pinch hitter for Seattle, Jacob Hirsch, out of Seattle, will step in.
And an automatic ball. Clock went to 0.
So he steps in with a 1-ball, no strike count.
Still got a run. Now only down 2, Washington is.
Through the stretch goes Woolsey. And the pitch, outside edge at 80 miles an hour, is strike nothing at 1. But how big was that tailor-made double play?
Hit hard, a 2-hopper right to shortstop. He actually could have taken that himself. Almost would have been safer, but he decided to flip it to the second baseman, and they got on the scoop at first by a step.
Amaro, a really nice play, the
Huge
first baseman.
play.
To dig that one out. Runner at third, 1-1. This one line foul down toward the Wellington bullpen. And now Woolsey is ahead in the count, 0-2.
Now Woolsey doesn't want anything close here. And the catcher's got to be on his toes to block everything and not allow this run at third to score on a pass ball.
No balls and 2 strikes. As Woolsey goes through the stretch. Not much interest in the runner at third with 2 outs. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball out to second. Backing up will be Burtz. Then he'll field and throw to first in time. A 4-3 putout. So after Seattle had him loaded with nobody out, Wellington will certainly take that, only allowing a run.
Unbelievable. Let's go ahead and give our food away.
All right. Stretch time at Lawrence Dumont. The score, Wellington 4, Seattle 2 at the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM.
Join us and help kids learn to walk, talk, and play with their peers by supporting Heart Springs pediatric programs. Heart Springs' 15th annual Pedal Fest bike ride is on Saturday, August 25th. Hop on your bike and pick the ride that's best for you. Pedal Fest has a route for everyone, from a 100K to a 5-mile family ride and 60K gravel ride. After the ride, rest your weary legs with a cold beer, lunch, and some family fun. Go to kwch.com for more information. Join the ride and help make a difference.
From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. Oh, God bless America, my home sweet home.
Wow, what a nice finish to God Bless America tonight as we stretch at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning, Wellington 4, the Seattle Studs 2, as we have made our way to the bottom half of inning number 7. And now time for Take Me Out to the Ball Game with Mike Dean. All right, some Take Me Out to the Ball Game as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Pretty good ball game, 4-2. Wellington with the lead. Things got a little interesting there in the top of the 7th inning, though, as Seattle scratched one across. Now trying to shut down Wellington as we start the bottom half of inning number 7. It'll be David Burtz that'll lead off for Wellington. Burtz, Alex Lyon, and Luis Amaro. That's 1, 2, 3 in the order for Wellington. Same pitcher is out there for the Seattle Studs, and that is Xander Klaus. So Klaus back there out on the hill for the 2nd inning with his team trailing Wellington 4-2. Klaus to Burtz, who shows bunt and sends it backwards foul. 0-1 to Burtz.
Trying to use that speed, push it down the third base line, and left-handed batter, get out of that box pretty quick and get an infield single. Just didn't work out too well. We talked about it before. If you get it anywhere close to that line, you're not going to get a hit.
And why not? He's got 3 base hits tonight. The infielder's playing fairly deep. Burtz takes inside for a ball. So a good bunter with good speed, and the infield expecting him to swing away the way that he's swinging it tonight. No showing of a bunt there. Swings and tips one at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes now, the count to Burtz. He is singled in the 1st, the 2nd, and the 4th. He stole a base in the 2nd and also scored a run in the 1st inning. So he has been very busy offensively tonight. Here he pokes one up toward the third base dugout. And the third baseman sliding over, and Kyle Bowe slid too soon, Scott, but he was battling with the railing, but he could have taken a few more steps and held on to that ball.
That's what because, Steve, we talked about there's an incline there coming off. Once you get in the fake dirt with still turf, the brown turf, that really slopes off back for the drainage of this field, and he hit that, and he probably thought, I better dive because it looked like you're going to hit that railing, but you're right, he had a couple more steps, but easier said up here than done.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes as Klaus through the line delivers, and another one bounced foul. Still 1-2. John Lachelle is the winner of our Champs Sports Bar and Grill giveaway.
Congratulations,
John. Thanks for listening. Head by our Steckline Communications Studios, 1632 South Mays. We'll have a little voucher for you. He reaches out and pokes this one to second, and Banks gets a glove on it but can't squeeze it in. He jumped as high as he could, and Cody Banks at 5'11" couldn't quite get up high enough, and it trickles off his glove into shallow right for a base hit.
Well, here's the problem. Banks came charging in on that one like he's going to dive, and all of a sudden he realizes over his head and tried to retract and get back. Unfortunate for him.
And that's got the 4th base hit for David Burtz. He is 4 for 4 with 4 singles.
Great night at the plate.
Here's Alex Lyon now showing bunt. Chops it out in front of the plate up the first base line. The only throw will be to first just in the nick of time. Good bunt, though, that time by Lyon. 1-3, it does the job, and down to second base goes Burtz, and Scott Wellington continues to do the little things well tonight.
Baseball by the book. It's what they're doing. and they've used it all tournament long. And right now, that's why they're ahead by 4-2. They're trying to get that lead back up to 3, where they feel a little more safe.
They've been clean with their defense, no errors. Timely hitting, they've got 7. They've not lit up the scoreboard, but when they've had runners, they've a good part of the time take advantage of the opportunities. They lead 4-2, bottom of the 7th inning. But going back to the bunts, though, that's a few times tonight now. They've gotten the bunt down and moving the runner over. So Luis Amaro steps in now, the first baseman. And Scott, not only is he 0 for 3, he has flied out 3 times to left field.
Yeah, and they're playing that way. That guy's almost on the line now. Look at the big gap between center fielder and left field.
And Amaro did have a home run pole swing right there and fouled the first pitch back, 0-1. But there is a huge gap in left center field right now. The 0-1, changeup stays outside at 76. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at second, 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Wellington 4, Seattle 2. Through the stretch, Xander Klaus delivers a strike at the letters. Amaro doesn't like that. I think he thought it was high. And the count's 1-2.
Amaro looks like a fire hydrant in the batter's box. It's just huge legs, squatty guy. A lot of power. Plays a great first base, but that did come across the letters a little high.
The 1-2, and that one was high. It's 2-2. He's 5'11", Scott, but 215.
Yeah, he's got linebacker legs. There's no doubt about it. 5'11" first baseman. You don't see too many of those, Stevie.
No, he's built kind of like a catcher.
Yeah.
This one down and in. Good stop by Breda behind the plate. Scooting to his right and trapping that one with his glove. Nicely done.
Got to be a wall back there with guys on base, and that's exactly what he was there.
So the count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. Wellington leading 4-2, and a hot shot foul just outside the bag at first. And the count stays full at 3-2. Wellington has only out-hit Seattle by 2, 7-5. But they've made the most of their opportunities.
Studs had that one inning where they got that 1 run, and I believe they had almost all their hits. Oh, fooled him on a changeup.
Swing and a miss is Amaro way out in front of that one. Down he goes for the second out of the inning. That's the 3rd strikeout for Xander Klaus in just 3 innings of work. His predecessor, Alex Spallman, had 3 strikeouts in 4 innings. So, runner at second, 2 outs now for the catcher, Joe Rankin.
Rankin has a hit in the game.
Rankin sends this one high to center field, but playable for Connor Savage. Backing up toward the gap to his left, and he makes the catch, and the side retired. So Wellington can do nothing after a David Burt's 1-out single. We go to the 8th. Heat 4, Seattle 2 at the 84th NBC on KQAM.
Contact Eric Burris, 3-1.
What was that supposed to mean? No, what was he like? I mean, I thought maybe he took. I just worked with him. I thought he took everything a little too seriously. On to the 8th inning we go. 4-2 our score. The Wellington Heat on top of the Seattle Studs. And leading it off for the Studs here in the top of the 8th inning will be another pinch hitter. And that's going to be Tanner Arrington. Actually, Arrington, the first baseman. So the Studs have Arrington, then Garrett Breda and Cody Banks. 7, 8, and 9, trailing by just 2. And the first pitch into Arrington. Breaking ball down low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
That's what I was talking about. It seems like when the Studs are ready to get the top of the order up, they usually are in a hole with 2 outs or something like that. Once again, 7, 8, 9 up. They get on, then you get back to the top of the order.
Arrington has been hit by a pitch twice tonight.
He's got a bullseye on that hip.
Hayden Woolsey back out there for Wellington, by the way. Delivers at 80, swung on and missed again. And it's 1-1. Scott, it's only a 2-run game in the 8th inning, but it seems like about a 5-run game, doesn't it?
You're exactly right. It's the way the feel of the game has been all night long, like Wellington really not in serious trouble.
But it is only a 2-run game. The hit column separated by 2 as well.
And we saw what happened the last game. Those 2 runs in the 9th.
Yeah. Breaking ball in there at 72 for a strike. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Arrington hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd. Hit by a pitch and stranded at first in the 3rd, and then he grounded out to 2nd in the 6th inning. So just 0 for 1 tonight. Reaches out and sends this one shallow left field. Conley coming on the left fielder. He's going to slide forward, and it lands in front of him and spins into foul territory. And down to second base goes Arrington with a leadoff double.
The second baseman had a beat on Steve. I'm not so sure he wouldn't have got, or the shortstop, I'm sorry. I'm not so sure he wouldn't have got there. He was hustling for the ball. Alex Lyon had it, and it was called off by the left fielder. Conley calls him off and then tries to dive, and it skips away from him.
Conley makes a slide towards the line, and it bounces in front of him and then spins into foul territory. That's a leadoff double for Seattle. So here's Garrett Breda now, the catcher, with a runner at second, and Breda also represents the tying run. 4-2 Wellington, top of the 8th inning. The pitch to Breda. In there for a strike, a breaking ball at 72. Started on the outside part of the plate, then came right across the heart at the letters. Breda's 1 for 2 tonight. He has walked, singled, and flown out. Through the stretch goes Woolsey. The lefty delivers home, down low. Good stop behind the plate by Rankin.
You know, if they get this run in, that does change the momentum in this game a little bit.
That one bounced in, and Rankin slid to his left. The runner, Arrington, thought about moving, but didn't.
Washington only has 6 outs left in this game to get 2 runs to tie the ball game.
Through the stretch goes Woolsey, and the pitch just outside, 79 miles an hour, and it's now 2-1.
Aaron Henderson, the big burly right-hander up in the bullpen for Wellington right now, number 44.
And this is just what we talked about. It wouldn't take much for Seattle to rally, and they're looking at a tie game here. Pitch up high, and it's 3-1. Now Woolsey is in danger of putting the potential tying run on, and the go-ahead run would step up to the plate with Cody Banks.
He's lost all command of his fastball and his changeup, really bailing out early, the left-handed pitcher is, and everything is going wide and high.
Aaron Henderson warming up in the Wellington bullpen. Big pitch right here. 3-1 through the stretch. Woolsey the pitch, fouled back and out of play. And the count's full at 3-2. Bottom part of the order for Seattle, Scott, but they've made some noise tonight. That's where their only run has scored. Tanner Arrington has scored the only run. He's standing at second base now. Garrett Breda's walked and advanced all the way to third. He's also singled. Here, he pokes one into shallow right center for a base hit. Fielding it is Cook. Rounding third and heading home is going to be Arrington, and there'll be no throw to the plate. It's an RBI single for Garrett Breda. We've got a 1-run game now as it's 4-3.
Just like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a pitching change here.
That is the 3rd RBI of the tournament for Breda, his first tonight. There is activity again in the Wellington bullpen, and all of a sudden, Seattle's got a serious rally going here. Runner at first, nobody out. 1 run already in. It's 4-3, and now another pinch hitter out of the dugout for Seattle.
Matt Zoba.
Yeah, it's going to be Matt Zoba from Woodinville, Washington, and a freshman at the University of Northern Colorado.
4-3, no outs, runner on first. Washington down a run to the Wellington Heat. Wellington was in command of this game until the last couple innings when the Studs started getting to the pitching staff of Wellington.
Zoba hitting for Cody Banks, and the pitch is outside at 78 for a ball, and again, Woolsey is behind in the count. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
See if Zoba takes a pitch, at least gets a strike before he decides what he's going to do with something here. He did square to bunt. Third baseman crashing in hard for Wellington.
The pitch, he's showing bunt, and that one down low, and that's not a bad idea either. They're cheating in at the corners in case of the bunt. With no outs, Seattle could very easily get the tying run over into scoring position with a bunt.
Aaron Henderson down there already sit down in the bullpen, said he's ready to go. This could be the last batter.
Robinson inching in at third. The pitch is a bunt toward third. Robinson coming on. His only play will be to first, and it's a 5-3 putout. But indeed, down to second base goes Garrett Breda, representing the tying run, now in scoring position.
Now 22 convenient locations throughout Kansas. Green Vision Group.
Back to the top of the order in Connor Savage.
And we've talked about the fundamentals and how well Wellington has done in that tonight. They still get the upper hand, but here in this inning and that play, good job by Seattle to get the runner over. Now back to the top of the order with Savage. Left-handed hitter with a tying run at second. Savage represents the go-ahead run, and he takes a breaking ball at 72 on the outside edge. 0-1.
That was huge to get a first pitch strike. Now you can pitch the pitch you want to pitch and not have to throw something down the middle. You can start pecking away at those corners.
0-1 as Woolsey takes a long time in the stretch and fires home. Liner into right field. That's down. That'll be a base hit. Runner had to hold to make sure that wasn't going to be caught at second, so he will stop at third. And now Seattle with runners at first and third. Still only 1 out. And now Colin Wolfe will step up.
I cannot believe they've left him in this long. One pitcher too late. Or one batter, too late.
And now it looks like there will be a pitching change. Indeed, there will, as the Seattle Studs, who had been held in check for the most part through 6 innings, have scratched across single runs in the 7th and the 8th innings. And now they've got the tying run aboard at third and the potential go-ahead run at first base. We will take a timeout as there's a pitching change being made. A good one tonight at do-or-die time for both of these two teams. It's Wellington 4, Seattle 3, with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning at the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM.
Huh? Yeah! I love it!
They're going to the Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield, MVP.
Up to 121 views.
Do what? Oh, yeah? Show it to Katie. She hasn't seen it yet. Have you? Aaron Henderson, a right-handed reliever for Wellington out of Hobbs, New Mexico, and formerly of Southwest University, is going through some warm-up tosses now for the Wellington Heat. And he has been thrown into the fire for sure here in the top of the 8th inning. It's Wellington 4, Seattle 3, but Seattle now already has 1 run in. They've got the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at first, and still only 1 out here in the inning. Seattle scored a single run in the 2nd inning and then quieted until the 7th when they scored their 2nd run of the game. Then they've picked up their 3rd here, so on the verge of tying it as Colin Wolfe will step in against right-handed hard-throwing Aaron Henderson. He's 6'4", 250 pounds. And here we go. Henderson works from the stretch. Raises the arms, now comes set at the belt. And the first pitch. Fastball down and away at 90 miles an hour. 1 ball and no strikes. And that's something that's plagued Wellington hitters here in the last couple innings when Seattle has started to mount their comeback, getting behind in the count. Now Henderson delivers, and this one fouled back to the screen. They've got 0-1 on the scoreboard, now 0-2. I thought that first pitch was a ball. Stepping out is the hitter. Now he's back in. It is 0-2. So the first pitch was called a strike. I beg your pardon. Through the stretch goes Henderson. And the 0-2 pitch inside, and it hit him. It did. It grazed the wrist. He'll go to first. They are loaded. Man. So Colin Wolfe, hit by a pitch, heads to first base. Down to second goes Savage. And they are loaded now for Kyle Bowe. Now for Wellington, it does set up a force at any base, and a double play can be started at any base.
And get you out of the inning.
But they are loaded with one out. That's still not what Woolsey wanted to do.
And
Henderson.
Everybody, Steve, is that double play depth.
Pitch inside. It gets away from the catcher Rankin, but not far enough for the runners to advance. Boy, Garrett Breda thought about charging home from third, but it trickled just a few feet away from Rankin behind the plate. But again, a Wellington pitcher has started off behind in the count. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So Henderson gets the sign from Rankin, raises his arms above his head, now comes set at the belt, and the 1-0 pitch, fastball in there, a strike at 87, and it's even now 1-1.
Rankin's motion makes you look like, it looks like it's coming in about 100 mile an hour, and that was only 87, but his herky-jerky motion really throws you off.
It did look like it was up above 90 before you see it on the gun. Through the stretch he goes. Time is called by Bowe. Kyle Bowe is 1 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out and singled. Bases loaded here. 4-3. Wellington clinging to a 1-run lead. The 1-1 pitch, line foul, right side, 1-2. Both bullpens have action working. A right-hander working for the Heat. A right-hander working for Wellington, for Seattle as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Heat desperately in need of an out right here. Through this stretch, the pitch. Strike 3 called, and down goes Bowe. He doesn't like it, and he'll head back to the dugout. What a big strike out there.
Low and away. Catcher framed it really nice, and the umpire just a little bit delayed and then punched him out.
So Landon Riker now will get his chance with the bases loaded. 2 outs now in the top of the 8th inning. 4-3. Seattle trailing Wellington, but they've got him loaded. Through this stretch goes Henderson. The pitch to Riker. Outside corner, a strike at 0-1.
Man, he's throwing hard.
That one looked like it had to have hit at least 90. We didn't get it, though. Henderson stares in at Rankin for the sign. Finds what he likes and stretches. And delivers the 0-1. Bouncing ball over to first. Amaro jumps on the first hop. Hauls it in. Steps on the backside. Retired. Seattle.
Kansas Gas Service delivers natural gas to many of the companies you know, ensuring they have the energy they need to grow and build strong communities, providing cost-effective, safe, and reliable natural gas for a better tomorrow today. Kansas Gas Service.
Seattle Status, number 36, Colin Meyer.
Colin Meyer, new pitcher, Steve.
Substitution for Seattle, now playing second base, number 7, Matt Zoba.
Slap it down the tempo, keep it perfect rhythm with the song on the radio.
Colin Meyer, the new pitcher for the Seattle Studs. And Meyer has wrapped up his career at Washington State, did that earlier this year. And he is going to try and keep this at a one-run game and send it to the top of the ninth inning with a Wellington 4-3 lead. That's what we have now, and that's the job for Meyer, the big right-handed pitcher. He is from WSU, Scott, but it's the other WSU to those of us in Wichita, Washington State.
It's the Fighting Mike Leaches.
That's right.
Also, a new second baseman in there, number 7, Matt Zoba, playing second base now.
Meyer at 6'3", 225 pounds. And he was very busy this season, only 21 innings for Washington State, but he appeared in a lot of games, none of them more than 4 1/3. But he appeared in, I'm just guessing here, a good 25 games. In fact, that's exactly what it is. So here we go. Bottom of the 8th inning, Wellington looking for some insurance. Kevin Conley will lead off against the tall right-handed Meyer. And the first pitch from Meyer to Conley, a fastball at 91, a strike, 0-1.
Notice how that zone's widened out a little bit on the outside compared to the way the game started.
21 innings at Washington State this past season for Meyer, 13 earned runs. That's a 5.57 ERA as this is a bunt, popped up foul up toward the third base side. And the count is quickly 0-2.
Now in the hole 0-2. Who's got to swing away here and protect?
Colin Meyer from Billings, Montana, attended Billings West High School. In his 21 innings this past season, Meyer had a record of 1-0. The 0-2, he tried to check his swing, and apparently he did, or he did not, but the ball bounced in, so he's tagged out is Conley for a 2 unassisted strikeout, and Conley barking at the home plate umpire, Tim Cordell, 1 away.
Yeah, I thought he checked his swing, and usually on something like that, the umpire will appeal the first baseman. The umpire said, no, I got this one. You swung, and called him, punched him out.
Alex Cook in now with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, Wellington up only by 1 run, 4-3. Cook fouls the first pitch back. It's 0-1. Cook 1 for 3. He is singled, flied out, and struck out. He also scored a run back in the second inning after his base hit. The 0-1 lifted left side, slicing into foul territory. Kyle Bowe, the third baseman, and then the left fielder, Riker, comes over near the bullpen, and it's Riker that makes a nice running catch, 2 away.
Good hustle, good communication, no collision out there. As third baseman, shortstop, and left fielder all had a shot at it.
So nobody on 2 outs now as Wellington desperately looking for some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Caleb Dubler will step in now. Dubler, the right-handed hitter. First pitch to him, swung on and missed, 0-1. Due up in the top of the 9th inning for Seattle will be Ken McCormick, Henry Chaney, and Tanner Arrington. So that's 5, 6, and 7 in the Seattle order. The 0-1, fly ball, shallow left field toward the line. That one is going to hook, and it's going to stay fair, though. Playing it on a bounce is Riker, and down to second base goes Dubler. He'll get there safely with a 2-out double.
Just brought chalk up in the air, right on the line.
And good hustle by Dubler, too, because he knew that the left fielder Riker had a ways to run, and also that one was high enough that if Riker didn't get to it, Dubler would have a chance at second base, and sure enough, he got there easily.
Also knowing the left fielder just made a mad dash over there the previous play to make a play.
Yeah, so a little
gassed, yeah.
So an insurance run now in scoring position for Wellington. Runner at second, 2 outs for Noataka Fujita, the designated hitter. Through the stretch goes Meyer, and the pitch, bouncing ball left side, diving stop at third by Bowe. Gets up, he won't have a throw, but what a great play just to keep that one from getting to the outfield. That saved a run right there, even though there's no out recorded.
Definitely saved a run, Stevie. Good play by the third baseman there.
Kyle Bowe dove to his left. Wisely didn't get up to throw. He might not have gotten out Fujita. He could have risked also a wild throw, which would have scored another run. So first and third for Cody Robinson. Robinson bounces one to third. Another chance for Bowe. This time a throw to first in time. 5-3.
Pain, back pain, all kinds of sprains. If your knee replacement aches when it starts to rain, at Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. Concussions, arthritis, carpal tunnel, too, fibromyalgia, Parkinson's, we've got the treatment for you. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. One-on-one sessions with a personal touch. Ask our thousands of patients why they love us so much. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that.
Fans, get out your charitable raffle tickets tonight from Martin Pringle. It's time to announce tonight's winning charitable raffle ticket. The winner receives an autographed Marcus Allen Kansas City Chiefs football helmet. Tonight's winning ticket number is 770124. 770124. One more time, 770124. That's your winning Martin Pringle charitable raffle ticket. Head down to customer service and pick up your new Marcus Allen autographed Kansas City Chiefs helmet.
Ken McCormick to start the top of the ninth inning for the Seattle Studs, needing a run to tie the score. And back out again, Aaron Henderson for Wellington. Henderson to McCormick, a fastball, a strike at 88, 0-1. McCormick, Henry Chaney, and Tanner Arrington for Seattle, desperately needing a run to stay alive here in the ninth.
3 outs away.
Henderson through the stretch, the 0-1. Fastball, a little bit down, but close, 1-1.
Wow. Boy, he's bringing it hard. That one almost registered 90 on the gun.
Aaron Henderson always works from the stretch, even with nobody on. The 1-1. Didn't mean to do it, fouled it back to the backstop. He checked up his swing, but it grazed the barrel of the bat. Tough break that time for McCormick.
Now, do you bring the heat here, or do you don't let him time you up and try to bring something off speed, see if you can get him out in front of the 1-2 pitch?
Henderson stretches, and the 1-2. Little breaking ball took something off, and it's pulled foul down toward the left field bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes again. Speaking of bullpens, Wellington does have somebody up in the event that Henderson gets into a little trouble. Steve Pastora is up warming up. Here's the 1-2. Slicing fly ball right side toward the right field bullpen. This one is going to slice and land foul by about 5 feet or so down the line towards the corner. So McCormick will retreat. McCormick came up to bat in the 7th inning after coming off the bench earlier in the game and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. That was a big double play at the time. And Scott, even with that double play, Seattle has stranded 13 runners tonight. The 1-2 high bouncing ball toward the bag at second and on into center field for a base hit. And the Studs have their leadoff batter aboard. That's the 3rd inning in a row Seattle's had their leadoff batter aboard.
Well, here we go. You put speed on the bases with the pinch runner.
And the pinch runner is out at first. That's Mitch Vito, who is listed as a pitcher for Seattle, but he's pinch running here. 5th time in the game the Studs have had their leadoff batter aboard, the 3rd inning in a row. Vito gets his lead, pitch a fastball, a strike at 87, 0-1.
Didn't square around a bunt either, which is surprising. You figure you try to get him in scoring position. The third baseman was crashing for Wellington.
Tying run at first, go-ahead run at the plate. Nobody out, top of the 9th. Wellington 4, Seattle 3. Henderson through the stretch. Takes his time, and now time is called at the plate. So we will try it again. Jacob Hirsch is the batter, by the way, for Seattle, a pinch hitter. He came in for Henry Chaney defensively. Now he's in at the plate. Throw over to first, nothing doing. Hirsch from Seattle and the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Another throw over to first. Boy, Henderson does not want McCormick to get much of a lead.
Not at all. He's really keeping him close.
And with good reason. McCormick the pinch runner, that is. Vito represents the tying run. Showing bunt here now is the pinch hitter, and it's called a strike as he stabbed at it. Hirsch didn't like that call, and he's asking Tim Cordell about it now. 0-2 now, the count at the plate.
That's a big strike call right there.
Yeah, no bunt opportunity now, you'd think. Through the stretch goes Henderson, and the pitch swung on and missed strike 3, and a big first out as well. So runner at first, 1 out now for Tanner Arrington.
Back-to-back left-handed batters coming up.
And Arrington, Scott, his last time up, had a double. So if he does that again, we very well could be talking about a tie game.
And he has that hole created for him by holding the runner on first base, being a left-handed batter.
Pitch to him, and it hit him. It came down and grazed him on the knee. He'll head to first, and down to second goes McCormick. And now the tying run in scoring position. And Tim Cordell is really hearing it from the Wellington dugout. He is telling him now he's heard enough. And he's actually gotten it from both sides. But right now from Wellington. He's also asking the ball boy for some new baseballs. He'll get 3 of them, but here's the situation. First and second, 1 out, top of the 9th inning. Seattle, who's been trying to fight, scratch, and claw their way back into this game all night long, has. Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first, 1 out, top of the 9th for Garrett Breda now, the catcher. And time is called, and we may be looking at a pitching change as out of the dugout comes the coach for Wellington.
Definitely going to settle everybody down. Everybody's a little amped up right now after that graze on the knee, which Wellington's saying he stuck his knee out to get grazed by the pitch.
So Pastora continues to throw, right-handed reliever down in the Wellington bullpen, and the coach for the Heat is looking that way, and that will do it. So Aaron Henderson will leave the game with the game on the line here in the top of the 9th inning. What a night it's been. We will take a timeout. Aaron Henderson also barking at the home plate umpire as he leaves the game, and Tim Cordell just looked his way and ignored it. Things getting a little testy here in the top of the 9th inning. Wellington 4, Seattle 3. Pitching change being made at the 84th NBC on KQAM.
Daily.
Got my little tea. Well, Steve Pastora out for Wellington, trying to close the door as the Wellington Heat up by a 4-3 lead, but they are clinging to this lead, Scott. And as we talked about way back in the 4th and 5th inning when it was 4-1, there was plenty of time for Seattle to get back into this game. They just have continued to strand runners. It's happening less here in the last couple of innings. But now the studs starting to string hits together in base runners, and all of a sudden, here we are in the 9th inning in a great game. Everything on the line for these two teams.
It definitely is, you know, and And, with one out, a new pitcher coming up, righty, throws hard, 90-mile-an-hour fastball. We just saw that right there. It's going to be interesting to see if they try to do anything to move the runners here to put pressure on the Wellington defense.
Steve Pastor is from South San Francisco and attended William Jessup, where he has had his playing career come to an end through graduation. Big situation here. Season on the line, tournament on the line for these two teams. First and second, one out, and up at the plate, Garrett Breda takes his strike. 0-1 from Pastora.
When you come in relief, that's what you want to do, Stevie. Get ahead of the batter, throw a strike right down the middle at 90.
Pastora is one of the older players on this team. He is 23 years old, just about 24. Through the stretch he goes. The 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. At 76, a slider. And Breda, a big cut there, but comes up empty.
Great pitch. Haven't seen nothing like that all night, have we?
No, we haven't. Not one with that kind of movement. Started out over the heart of the plate, tailed away to the outside. 0-2 the count. Infield for Wellington looks for a double play. It would end the game. Pastor delivers. Fastball outside at 92. Boy, he's got a good combination, Scott, coming in at over 90, but then that slider we saw 2 pitches ago.
Yeah, and we'll see if he comes back to that slider and gets him on his toes.
Runners get their leads. McCormick at second and Arrington at first.
Talking about the number 8 hitter in the lineup.
Pastora stretches, delivers another slider, and he reaches out and barely gets a piece of it and fouls it straight back.
Defensive at bat now for the number 8 hitter, Garrett Breda. Batting .444, one of the higher averages on the Seattle Studs.
And don't forget the Studs sent in a pinch hitter in the number 9 spot the last time up. They have not gotten much production out of that spot. They did get a sacrifice bunt in that situation, but they desperately want to get it back to the top of the order. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. They will as long as there's not a double play. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Another one that he barely got a piece of. And it's still 1-2. Matt Zoba is who I'm talking about, who waits on deck. He did lay down a nice sacrifice his last time up.
You're correct, sir.
Probably won't be the case if he gets up next time, no matter what happens here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pastor through the wind and delivers liner, left field line, foul ball by inches. That one just hooked foul.
Wow.
Josh Shepis, the umpire, was right on it. He was probably about 10 feet, if even that, from that one.
Great call.
And
definitely was foul.
Sure looked from here like it hooked foul. Wasn't a hard hit ball, a soft blooper, but it would have been trouble and scored both runs easily.
And I thought football was the game of inches.
Yeah. So we try it again. Garrett Breda has had a really good at bat here, fighting off 2 strike pitches. Here's the 1-2 again from Pastora. Another one yanked foul outside the bag at third. This one on the ground.
Well, he's timed up the slider. Now he's timed up the fastball at 89. So now what do you do?
Well, he can still waste one because he's ahead in the count 1-2. So I wouldn't be surprised if he came with another slider again.
But you can't throw nothing in the dirt here.
Through the windup goes Pastora. Here's the pitch. And he comes in at 88 instead, and another one fouled back. This has really turned into a good battle.
Absolutely.
With the game on the line for these two teams and the tournament. Again, we're in single elimination format. The winner moves on to the semis tomorrow. The loser's NBC World Series run is over. 1 ball and 2 strikes again to Garrett Breda. Runners at second and third. The pitch. Strike 3 called, and down he goes. At 92, a fastball on the black. And they're 2 away.
Wow, frozen.
What a big pitch that time for Steve Pastora, and now Wellington 1 out away from moving on to tomorrow's semis. And here is Matt Zoba now, the last hope for Seattle, in from the right side of the plate. Time is called now as Joe Rankin, the catcher, wants to make sure he and his pitcher are on the same page. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at second. 4-3 Wellington with the lead. The scoreboard pretty indicative of this game, Scott.
Yeah. 9 hits apiece. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Only 1 error amongst both teams.
And 1 run separates them.
Pretty impressive game so far by both teams. Battling it out. Seattle not giving up, clawing their way back within 1 run and having a chance to go ahead with 1 swing of the bat at the top of the 9th.
Zoba takes a fastball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. McCormick, the runner at third. He represents the tying run. Arrington, the runner at second, represents the go-ahead run. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Zoba. Fastball on the edge. Another one at 90. And now Seattle's down. Or they called the first pitch a strike, or excuse me, a ball. So it's now 1-1. I beg your pardon. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. Slider, bounce to third. This could do it. Robinson Fields throws to first, and that is the ball game. The Wellington Heat advance to tomorrow's semifinals. Well, it was kind of indicative, Scott, of the entire night for Seattle, who had their chances, continued to. Not only did they strand about 15 runners, they stranded about that many in scoring position tonight.
Unbelievable. You know, Washington had a lot of opportunities, like you said, especially in the first few innings. How many times, Stevie, did they have guys on first and second, no outs or 1 out, and didn't get any runs in?
So 4-3, Wellington survives. They'll play in tomorrow's semis, and Seattle's run is over. Back with the final wrap right after this.
4.